the guarantee. E&E. With your boy shit. Glitch, nigga. Shit, I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds, my Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no grace. Niggas not seeing me ever. I mean, no days. Fuck around and end up gone. You get in this place. E&E the shit that I claim. You dealing with grace. Took over the game. I storm like Rain's mixtape. Thankfully, I've been up in smoke like my mixtape. Counting cheddar shit. I'm about to make a grilled cheese. Niggas be faker than bad bitches with good weeds. On my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. Replacements won't be enough. You need the whole team. I've been a G since I could finish my ABCs. Kept it a buck so real niggas look up to me. This butcher boy shit get crazy. When it's sick of me, I'm coughing out these dope bars till they sick of me.
Can't get rid of me, still can't find a remedy. Still blowing palmers if it comes to Hennessy. Me and we own our shit independently. When I go out on a limb, I take extremities. I can see right through transparency. Hurting self-esteem, low insecurities. Now or never like push the guarantee. What's the recipe? King L's Reflection 3. All these chapters in my life, you can turn a page. Books can't tell you my story, gotta live it down. Glitch got my back, yeah, you can copy that. Man, we control the scene, you can copy that. Leave your whole state red like Republicans. Put fire on the track, now it's bubbling. Put your boys eating it, you in trouble, kid. Add first 100 mil, you can double.
Let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Automatic nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. It's automatic nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Low sick, corona, jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shining king under pressure. West side fat jacks, I took more than measure. Shake the extras, that's business started feed. Street blues, what I talk, boy, your blood flowing free. Power on my mind, no say gang is kind. Read between the lines, it was in my eye. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, Fern Gully Mountain shit. Couple hot shots, turn on the frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane nonstop. The little J gon' take over with my time side.
Yeah, I get right to it. My nigga, we begging pardon. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they eat harder. My flow be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My groove came back. This must be how Stella felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pro. This is how LaMelo felt. You better yell out help. Here comes the double team. You catch me in the spot. Then you know that the boy is clean. The Louis V look mean with the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. No vaccine. If you was asleep before I came, then I'm the caffeine. I pulled the jokers out the deck. Yeah, there ain't no laughing. In CEO fashion, we sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let a vegan knock me off my chicken. Something about the BBS when the sun is hitting. Should be flashing like the lights when you getting
Let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Yeah. What up? You already know it's the man about town, Virgil Berry, aka Stats with the Facts. And y'all know, y'all definitely tuned in to another episode of Real Talk Podcast, man. What's going on? How y'all doing? You already know, man, smash that like button as you wipe your feet and come up in the demonstration, man. Wipe your feet. You know what I'm talking about? Meet and greet one another, you know what I'm saying? Meet and greet each other and meet and greet one another. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Goddamn it, subscribe to the page. Click on that bell. You heard me? What's good, man? How y'all doing tonight, man? Tuesday. We here. We woke up this morning, so we already got the victory and the glory. We already won. So everything else is extra. What's going on, man? How y'all doing tonight, man? Y'all know we about to chop up some big game tonight, man. You know what I'm talking about? Project Leroy in the building. What's good, bro? You know what I'm talking about? What my man Project Leroy said. You already know, Project Leroy, let's go. You hear me? That song is fire, ain't it? My niggas went in on that. I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Hakeem Andrews, what's good, brother? You already know, man. What's good with y'all, man? How y'all doing tonight, man? You know, I say man all the time because it's just a part of my speech. And I say it like that. I spell it like that because that's the way I think it in my head. And just to say that, y'all, that's not, I actually talk like that. I type how I talk, like how most of us do, right? And I write in all caps because I'm a loud talking ass nigga, which I'm pretty sure y'all have figured out by now. Been like this since I was a kid. Y'all can ask L when he come up, right? But I'm pretty sure y'all gathered that already, right? Yeah, y'all heard what Project Leroy said, man. Grab a glass, man. You know what I'm talking about? Grab a glass, roll you up something nice, preferably some pifflages. You hear me? Pour you up something. Y'all hear that? That's that ice. Pour you up something nice to drink. I don't care if it's water, if it's soda, beer, alcohol, wine, liquor, whatever you want to call it. Have you something nice and cold to drink on. But one thing you got to do, right, for sure, make sure you drink at least one of these a day. It's about time for me to get a new jug, but you hear me, y'all? It's about time for me to get a new gallon jug, but drink one of these a day. If you're 35 and older, you should most definitely be drinking one of these a day, minimum, at minimum, male or female. You did. What's up with everybody, man? Yeah, me and my brother L, we about to get to it tonight, man, because I know this subject right here is real touchy, right? But yeah, how y'all like last night's show, man? Everybody who tapped in, man. You hear me? You already know Project Leroy, man. That's what we do over here at A Real Talk Podcast, man. We speak straight facts, straight knowledge, wisdom over inner, outer, extra standing. You know what I mean? It's okay to understand, but understand when you use the term understand, that means you are standing under. That means you are beneath something. That means when you understand something, right? Not saying that you don't comprehend it, but when you understand, you're looking up, right? Walk with me now, right? That means that when you're looking up, that means something is over you. So you can understand that 2 + 2 = 4, right? But what about 2 + 2 = 5? That's why I say over, inner, outer, extra stand. You did. You know what I'm talking about? What's up with everybody, man? How y'all doing, man? Yeah, man. You know what I'm talking about? Me and my brother L about to get right to it. Because like I say, man, I know this is a very controversial issue. And on the surface, it's very superficial. Because most people are talking about she's American, she's a woman, the blah, the skis, the LGBT, and all that. Yeah, nah, it goes a lot deeper than that. And we got to look at it, of course, not from a deep perspective, but a wide perspective. We got my brother King L's in the building. You hear me, Project Leroy? It definitely ain't. It's definitely not. Right? So over, inner, outer, extra stand, when you understand, You stand under, which means you're beneath, and something's above you, which means you really don't get it. You can, you get it a little bit, but you don't overstand the situation like when you're looking over top of it. You did. We got whatever man in the building. What's good with you, brother? Right? We can find out, Project Leroy. You definitely, hey, I don't know, Project Leroy, right? But we definitely gonna find out. We definitely gonna get to it. It's so easy to find information on these people, man. I'm pretty sure she was, or yeah, she's Alpha Kappa Alpha. Yeah, she Alpha Kappa Alpha. Not surprisingly, which means she wore the pink and the green, right? Yeah, man. One thing about these people, man, it ain't hard to find information on them. She went to Baylor University. So I don't pay attention to female basketball players. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Well, hold on. Don't quote me on that, yo. Let me find out for sure. Let me get to hold on. I might have spoke too soon, y'all. Maybe she's not actually Alpha Kappa Alpha. Hold on. Hold on, is that her real name? Okay, that's not her. That's a different chick. Okay. Yeah, y'all, man. You know what I mean? Nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the Google right now. Hold on, let me put it on the screen so y'all can see what I'm doing. My bad, y'all. I apologize about that. When I get to looking at stuff, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm looking at these articles, right? This the first one I've seen right here, right? So this might not necessarily be her. Okay, nah. Okay, that's not her. That's not her. I apologize, y'all. I take that back. Right? There's some girl she played basketball with that is a Kappa. I'm pretty sure she's a member of something, man. But I don't know. And see, that's where your integrity come in at, y'all. Are they accepting people with mental disorders now? I don't know, but that's something that we can find out though, for real, for real. I'm not seeing anything. Every time I type her name in though, y'all, I keep coming up with Alpha Kappa Alpha. So y'all hear me? Yeah, y'all heard what my man Project Leroy said, man. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Y'all hear what I'm saying? Now the couples. This is what I'm looking at, y'all. I'm looking at this. Y'all looking at what I'm looking at on my computer screen, right? Now, right? That all this stuff, right? I don't see nothing connecting her directly as saying she is a soror or a member. But what I am saying is that every time I look her name up, she's connected with this Asia Wilson chick, right? Whoever Asia Wilson is, she's Alpha Kappa Alpha. And every time her name pops up, Brittany Griner name pop up. And every time Brittany Griner's name pop up, y'all, it's Alpha Kappa Alpha popping up. Right? Now you see what I typed in Brittany Griner sorority. All you see is Alpha Kappa Alpha. All right. Or different branches of it. So, I don't know. No, that's her wife. They played on the same team with each other. So I just say that to say, y'all, man, I'm pretty sure if we did some digging, we could find out. You already know, Project Leroy, you gotta do your due diligence, man, and you gotta be able to, you gotta keep it fair, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to y'all and make stuff up and connect dots that's not even there to be connected. I made the mistake of automatically assuming she was Alpha Kappa Alpha because I've seen her name, but when I actually looked at the article, it's a Twitter post and an actual article where she was on the team with a chick who was a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and they won against in the Olympics or something like that. Let me check real quick again. No, it was a championship game. She went to Baylor? Like I said, she went to Baylor University. He says Brittany Griner and Odyssey Sims. They coach Omega's A basketball team. Oh, okay. So she did go to Baylor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so anyway, right? Anyway, if y'all look at most of these people, man, most of these people are members of the Divine Nine. You hear me? Basically, is what I'm saying. Most of them. Not all of them, but a great majority of them are. And also remember this too, y'all. Just because we looked her up and we didn't see on Google, just because that she wasn't a part of sorority, that doesn't mean she isn't, though. Google's not the know all, end all, y'all. Y'all want to know why? For one thing and one thing only. Remember when I be talking to y'all about the concept of the memory hole? Google is the memory hole. Don't ever forget that. What's going on with y'all tonight, though, man? What's popping? What's cracking? What's good? How y'all feeling? We in the building tonight. We about to get to it. I appreciate all y'all for coming out. I really do respect that and appreciate that. It humbles me that people would sit up here and take time out of their day and sit up and chop it up with me for hour, 2 hours on end. I really do appreciate that. Y'all really don't understand that. I really appreciate that. You hear me? Oh, her wife was Sherelle Griner. Yeah, man. We're going to get to it. All right. But one thing y'all got to understand about most of these people they put in front of us, most of them are, if they're black, most of them are members of the Divines. They're in the public eye in sports, entertainment, and whether it's music, acting, comedy, whatever, government, finance, academia, big pharma, wherever you go, right? And you see some niggers, whether they be male or female, most of them are members of the Divine Nine. And I want y'all to understand the importance and significance of that. Rest in the essence to Stephen Coakley. Stephen Coakley is the guy who got me hip to who the Boule was way back in 2006. Isn't it ill to think when we think about 2006, 2007, that was like 12, 13 years ago, or 16, 17 down there years ago. My, how time flies. All right. I say, how y'all doing tonight, man? Right. We got my man King L's in the building, man. And we definitely about to go in. It was funny when I called L a couple days ago to discuss what we're going to talk about on tonight's show. I'll have already this in mind, as I'm pretty sure a lot of people do, but nobody's going to come from it from the perspective that we're about to come from it, right? You understand what I'm saying? You dig me? You know what I'm talking about? They're not going to dissect it like how we going to dissect it, right? Because there's a lot of implications with this whole Brittany Griner situation. And I want to know who amongst us has the critical thinking ability to decipher, right, the various implications. Because there's a lot. There's a lot. And I know my man L, I know he probably got a couple articles or whatever, right? We got to do that part too. But we got to break this down. Oh, you already know Uncle Diggity in the building, right? And Uncle Diggity, when I sent you that earlier, I just realized, bro, that it wasn't you that sent me that track. It was Blade Monger that sent me, that said something about that track. So I apologize if you seen that earlier in Red's chat and you see me say that. I know you probably was confused. Like, no, that was something that Blade Monger sent me. My bad. Or typed up earlier in the chat earlier. Let me just make sure I ain't bugging, make sure I ain't hat. Yeah, Blade Monger. Yeah, that was it. That was him. He did. We got my brother Uncle Diggity in the building, though. What's good, brethren? Right? Yeah, man. Make sure y'all say what's up to each other and greet each other as y'all come up in the demonstration, man. We about to bring L up in about a good 5 to 10 minutes, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is a touchy subject, y'all. We're going to definitely get into it. You know what I'm saying? Last night's show, you know what I'm saying? We just briefly discussed the MPV. You know what I'm saying? And I hope everybody who was in attendance last night got something from the show. I hope y'all heard something y'all didn't hear before. I hope it gave you a wider perspective to look at this situation from. I really hope it did. Because that's all I want to do, but I just want to bring a different perspective to look at these things from. I'm not saying you have to believe what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to go along with what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to accept what I'm saying. All I'm saying is be at least open and willing to look at it from a different perspective. Go do your due diligence, and then you make a decision. You know what I'm talking about? It's all good, Uncle Dick. It's all good, brethren. You dig me? Said, don't even trip. That's my nigga, man. Yeah, but I you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I appreciate y'all coming out, man. You know, I ain't one of these guys that come on here, you know, talking about perping and all that crazy. I respect y'all, man. You hear me? I respect the fact that y'all are actually tapping in with me and my brother, you know what I'm saying, and having this discussion with us, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, correlating and connected into our lives and society, how this going to affect us, and coming up with some possible solutions on how we could, you know what I'm saying, go about, you know, handling ourselves in the wake of when this stuff happens in our society, right? You know, we also got to break down like how this stuff gets us emotionally and how not to get emotionally pulled in by this stuff we seeing on this TV and these TV screens and these smartphone screens and these laptop, desktop screens, man, tablet screens, whatever type of screen you are interacting with the unintelligent artificial intelligence through, whatever device you're using, right? Think about that, man. You know what I'm saying? Last night, you know what I mean? I wanted to put in perspective because it's a perfect segue. If y'all pay attention, whenever we have shows over here at A Real Talk, you understand how all the shows is connected, like how everything is connected. Last night, we talked about the MPV, right? And the MPV, now listen, y'all, I'm going to say this. Listen, out of the 7,509 cases of MPV recorded by the CDC in America as of August 6th, 3 days ago. 98% of the reported cases were of those type of males, not men, males, who are of the Fun Boy Society. 98%, y'all. Right? And I say the segue tonight because it seems that every facet, every aspect, everything that goes on somehow, some way, the LGBTLMNOP barbecue committee agenda somehow is attached to it. Right? In some shape or form. Right? So yeah, we about to get to it, man. You know what I mean, man? And before we get this started, this ain't no disclaimer or nothing. It's just some real shit. This ain't nothing we saying tonight is against the actual real LGBTQ people who don't go along with any of this shit that's going on. They totally disagree with a lot of this stuff that's going on concerning their lifestyle. We're not talking about them. We're not talking about the ones who just want to be left alone and totally not for big burly dudes with 5 o'clock shadow dressing up like scary looking demon witches, reading kids' schools and library stories in schools and libraries. No, talking about dropping the consent age to 6. No, we're not talking about them. We're not talking about the ones that, they ain't with all that so they ain't with all this sexualization of children, allowing little boys to be drag queens and go to drag queen shows. We're not talking. No, they're not with it. Right? They just want to be left alone. They're not with a lot of this mess that's going on. Unfortunately, we don't hear their voices for obvious reasons, right? So this ain't nothing against you fun boys and fun girls out there, man. Ain't got nothing the originals. We ain't got nothing. This ain't nothing against none of y'all or none of y'all, who are members of the LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue committee agenda. This ain't no disrespect to y'all. We just gonna call it what it is. And to be honest with y'all, none of this whole situation got anything to do with any of that. Oh, but y'all is involved though. So yeah, we're gonna get to it, man. I'm about to drop the link, you know what I'm talking about, and have my man L come on in, and we about to go on in. Thanks for everybody for coming out tonight, man. Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. We about to go in. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what was that all about? Yeah, man. Because this situation is serious, man. I don't know if y'all understand that, how serious this situation actually is with this whole Brittany Griner thing. What this has to do with traveling abroad and relationships between the American and the Russian government at the time, diplomatically. Huh? Yeah, man. And now they throwing in all of this stuff about trade-offs and all of that stuff. Yeah, man. Stuff gets deep, man. But don't try to think about it and dissect it with a deep mind. Have an open mind. You got to have an open mind. You don't have to have a brilliant mind. You don't even have to have a smart mind. You have to have an open mind. Right? I dropped the link in there, L, man. Go ahead and tap on in whenever you see it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, how y'all doing tonight, man? Yeah, man. This situation right here is way more serious than what most people even will be willing to admit or accept. But it's also silly in aspects too. You know, very, very silly. Almost as if it shouldn't have even happened. Right? How about if Trump was in office? Do y'all think this would have happened? Y'all think that has anything to do with it? Let's talk about it. L, where you at, man? Let's go. The link is definitely in the chat. And we're ready to get straight to it. Yeah, man. Brittany goddamn it Griner. My whole thing is this. What the hell was she thinking, man? Clearly she wasn't, because if she had been thinking, she most definitely would not have done that. All right? Definitely would not have done that. Most of us know we wouldn't have done that. Keep it real, y'all, man. What y'all that did that dumbass shit, man. Seriously, though, famous or not, traveling in Russia as an American national, right? Who would have thought it a good idea to have any type of drugs on you? Any that wasn't a prescription in a medicine bottle. Who would do that? Like, seriously. L, would you do some shit like that? Goofy ass shit like that? L, would you do some shit like that, man?
And you know, I travel. Am I live? I'm on.
Yeah, you live. We live. We all the way live,
Okay.
baby.
What's good, people? First, before I even tap in, I want to say peace, blessings to all the people that's up in the building today. Project Leroy, Uncle Diggity. You already know what it is. Everybody else, peace,
Yes,
love,
sir.
and
Yes, sir.
blessings. But yeah, so yeah, let's tap into it. And like you said, so you know, like, bro, I traveled. And what's good, Cortez in the building, whatever, man. But
Oh,
bro,
that's Lance Parker. What's good, bro? So that whatever, man. That's
that's
Corn Star, no
Cortez.
cousin Cortez.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, okay. What's up with you, Cortez? Cause man, I know that was you, bro.
He got a dope podcast too. You got to check out. He do it
Oh
in the
yeah.
garage, and he talk about music, cars, all that dope shit. So, and congratulations on your car competition win. You already know. Salute, salute. But yeah. So I mean, one thing I will say, like, I travel out the country, and I'm gonna tell you off top. I check my bags, bro, just to make sure all the time that I don't have anything if I'm going to certain places. Now, certain places a little bit more lax. I know, like when I went to Houston, man, I took like a half zip. All right, cool. Now I didn't take that shit back. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of shook up when I was in the airport through the rest of the way when I came back. But when I go out the country, I don't take no good on me, bro. Like I ain't trying to do nothing that's gonna get me jammed up because one time I came from Jamaica and they actually took me through to the back of the customs, like, and took me through the bags. It was crazy. A lady next to me actually got caught with like some prescription pills who wasn't her prescription. So they really do check niggas, and I seen it live with my own eyes in that back room. But yeah, I ain't here to make no excuses. I'm gonna tap into it. I will say, yes, it's a lot of faulty shit that's going on with it. But
Right.
at the end of the day, I'm gonna be real. Like as an international traveler multiple times, you gotta know what you're doing. Cause I actually I do take like I take cartridges when I go out the country. Now
Hold on,
that's one thing.
L.
Yeah.
Is it a filter or something you got on, bro?
What the hell is that?
It look
I
like it's
don't,
just fuzzy stuff or something. I
I
know I the
don't
only one
know.
that noticed that, man.
I'm noticing it too, man. This
You over
is
there looking like you in a Michael Jackson video or something, man.
I'm not feeling that neither. Oh, okay. It has some fade on there or
I'm
some
about to
shit.
say, man, what is that, man?
I don't know how to work your app, bro. But all right, we back.
Good,
Am I still in?
Yeah, you good, bro. Go ahead.
All right, let me click this shit off, man. It's hard to see shit. All right, so what I was saying is when you're traveling, man, you gotta be conscious of what you're taking, where you're going. You gotta know where you at. Yes, I do at times take I take oils when I do go to certain countries like Mexico because you might not find no good. So I actually do, I'm smart about that shit. I feel like I don't take no chances with my livelihood in that matter, especially when you out the country because you don't know how that shit's set up when you out there. And this wasn't her first time. Like she played basketball over there in Russia, so she has to be somewhat familiar with what the laws are, what goes on over there. I'm sure because she's played basketball over there. And you know how it is, like when you go to different countries, like you have discussions with people like, yo, what's it like over here? About you know how it go down. So I'm sure that she had to have some type of knowledge of what the laws are over there, how they treat people, because when I start hearing about the laws, their conviction rates, how hard they are, now what I will say is that it was a white woman here. I got an article here. Let me pull this up here. It was a white woman that did get caught with.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too, Uncle Diggity.
But I ain't going. I'm still not. I don't use those as an excuse. But it's a white woman. Okay, so the article here. I don't know if y'all can see it on the phone or whatever. Y'all might not be able.
We can't.
I'll send it to you. But it basically said Brittany Griner, 31-year-old American, convicted of smuggling 0.7 grams THC into Russia on a trip. Now, smuggling is also some bullshit. Smuggling is such harsh terms because you're not smuggling 0.7 grams of anything.
They definitely put 100 on 10 with the smuggling game, man. I gotta
right.
say.
Well, that's what the Russians have been doing. I mean, I get that's the only way they could have got that conviction. It's fucked up, but this is not smuggling. Negligent, yes. Now, basically, it says she was smuggling the 0.7 grams of THC into Russia on a trip to play basketball for her Russian team. Like I said, she's playing for the Russian team. She has to know some of the laws. She is sentenced to 9 years and fined 1 million rubles. Now, rewind it back. That's 1 million rubles. I ain't gonna lie. Like now, we ain't gonna act like this ain't some kind of political, shit that's going on where they not using her as leverage for some stuff because we'll dig into what they're trying to do to make all this, come together. But it was a lady named Audrey Lorber, which was a 19-year-old American. She was found guilty of smuggling 17 grams of THC into Russia while on a family vacation. It's a little over a half if y'all don't know y'all's math. And she was released after a 2-month detention and fined 15,000 rubles. Now, just think it is. I'm not going to say only because in certain places you got to know where you at. Once again, like I said, you have to know where you're at when you're in these other countries. Me, have gone to other countries. I am very aware, or I try to be. And even sometimes I do shit that I probably could get knocked for when I'm in other countries. But I know what I'm doing. I know what's wrong. If I was to get caught, I would know what the consequence, or I may not know what the consequence, but I know it ain't no shit that I want to go through. So, yes, it is very lopsided. She got caught with 0.07 grams, got hit with 9 years, and fined 1 million rubles. Rubles, whatever that equates to in US dollars, I'm not sure. But the other lady was caught with 17 grams, and she was on a family vacation. I imagine she had some money. And she was released after 2 months. Now, she still had to sit down 2 months in a detention. So they did sit her ass down too. But she was only fined 15,000 rubles compared to 1 million. And she had basically, 15.3 grams more.
Mm.
So that is off top, but I mean, it could be black or white if you want to kind of twist it that way. It to me seems way more political because of the way that they're trying to leverage her right now.
Right.
So, we tap into it. Horrible timing. Also on top of this, so she's not only negligent of what she's taking into another country, but she's also negligent of what the fuck is going on out here in the world.
Mm.
Like this was literally a couple weeks after that war popped off. So here we are in the height of the war when everything is going down, and she chooses to still try to take some pins. And yeah, I can say it pins like it's some small shit, but if it's not allowed in the country, it's big shit no matter what. Like
Right.
we're gonna be real here today.
Yeah.
And yes, I first want to grace over it. I do think it's wrong that she is being used this way as a political
Right.
pawn. It's not even, I wouldn't say even just a political pawn, but I mean, they're actually doing what is written in their laws. So even if you don't, some people might not even say she's a political pawn. She's just going to jail for doing something that she did wrong. And she's getting justice served based on what the laws are wrote up to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's however you want to slice it. I'm not going to really dig into how you should feel. I'm just going to say it is fucked up because you would never think that a cartridge would get you 9 years, but when you go to other countries, things like that, it's other countries where you do something and you sentence to death. You just gotta abide by the other country's rules. What happens happens.
Flat out.
So we got to be real with everything. Now, of course, here she wouldn't even got wrote up. She wouldn't even got taken to jail. She wouldn't even. In some cases, they probably wouldn't even took the weed. Like honestly, I've had it where cops they do what you do, but I mean, I'm not looking, and then they'll do a search, but they'll let us kind of do whatever we need to do and kind of do a light search, but just so they can feel like they do their due diligence. So it is like I said, she's been playing over there. She's familiar with at least some of the laws, or I would think that she's smart enough to have those type of conversations, especially if she does that. You smoke weed, you got to know something. You asking people. I know I do when I go to other countries. Like, hey, you know what I mean? We know. So on this, I really want to make sure that yes, I want to let people know it's fucked up or messed up. My fault. It's messed up, but we also want to let you know it's a lot of different things that's going into this.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Uncle Diggity said she better hope Trump get reelected because if the Dems steal it again, she not getting out. Putin knows he can hold her and get a better deal cut. I know that's right. Now listen here, man. Right? Listen here. 9 years is excessive. I will agree with that. 9 years is extreme, even for Russia, right? But that is the maximum sentence on their laws, man, and they maxed her out. Right?
Well, the maximum is 10. They feel like she should have probably got about 4 to 5.
Right.
But over there, they do all that time.
Yeah, ain't no getting out early on parole or goddamn it, what's it called? Getting out early on TC, like I did on transitional control. Ain't none of that shit.
Nah, she'll get
9 years.
Hey, what's up, Sharice?
Sharice in the building.
Yeah, she did do 5 months.
Yeah, she about to do.
And they was over there trying to I heard one outlet say they was trying to not even count that, which would have been fucked up.
Oh, so they did give her a see they maxed her out.
Okay, so they did. Okay, so they gave her 9.5. I was about to say I heard somebody say over there in Russia, the time don't start until you actually get sentenced over in Russia. So they can hold you for however long, but the time don't start over there. That's something else different.
So you don't get no JTC in Russia, which stands for jail time credit. You don't get that in Russia.
At least that's what I heard.
Your ass is going to do day for day in that bitch. You hear me, man?
Yeah, according to what Sharice saying is corroborating what I was what I seen the other day, because I was like, man, that's messed up. They not even gonna give her the 5 months.
Hey, Mother Russia over there is trimming niggas. You hear? Tearing niggas out, man. You hear me? Uncle Diggity, man. Uncle Diggity, bro. 9 years.
It's too cold over
there. For less than a Grizzly Adams? What?
Oh. And not even the
oils, though. Hell, not even the bud or pith, like oils. Damn. And then, I'm not laughing like it's funny, like ha. I'm just saying, like, damn.
Nah, it's like a laugh like that's fucked up.
Yeah, like, god damn. But like you said, we can't and this is what makes this thing interesting, y'all. We can't say it's about race because they don't do that over there in Russia. We can't say it's about LGBTQ, LMNOP, barbecue committee agenda because it ain't happening in Russia. They ain't got no political force over there in Russia. They ain't got no say-so. You hear me? And it can't be about no feminism or nothing like that because they don't have that in Russia. Now what we need to be doing is looking in to this person, I think it's 2, that they talking about possibly exchanging for Brittany Griner. We'll get to that later though, but El, go ahead.
Nah, you're right. Yeah. So you want to tap into that right now because that's a whole other conversation. Hold up, let's keep it here.
Right, you're gonna keep it here. I feel what you're saying though, Sharice, though, man. That's some real, and that's the same way I feel about it. No matter what the situation is, and I'm gonna give it to you, El. No matter what the situation is, you know what I'm saying? She been over there clearly. She know what it is. I mean, she smoked weed, clearly, obviously. You know what I'm saying? She knew what it was, man. And like, I'm not going to sit up here and accept that Brittany Griner, WNBA player playing for a Russian team, grown woman, smart, making money, doing all. I'm not going to sit up here and just accept that she just was goofy, retarded, and didn't know the laws of the land. I'm not that naive, and I know a lot of y'all aren't either. So go ahead, El.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely couldn't have been. It's a real sticky situation, man.
It really is
super sticky. Just given the fact that I know a lot of people. We're all about riding for people, and I definitely, like I said, I feel like it is a messed up situation. But this is one of those ones where you got to kind of sit back and just see how it play out because it's a lot of underlying things. Like you said, it ain't race. Like when I first looked at the story, I'm like, man, this ain't racial. For one, it's bad, horrible timing. Like I said, she did it right in the middle when the war first jumped off. This is when everything popped off, and of course they like, oh, we got one of y'all because I don't know because I know Stacks don't really keep up with the sports world like that, but she's like one of the best female basketball players. They have like a top notch, like a LeBron James type player. Like she's a great player right now.
Right.
She's like one of the women that could dunk. Like, she was nice in college. She's a well decorated. Like she ain't like a weak player that just went over there and it's a weak player that we just sit here and we don't know about. Very well known WNBA players, been playing overseas, and she's got a big name. Now, one thing we also, while we're on this, knowing that she has a big name, knowing that she's really known in this world, why haven't we heard? Now we know how the NBA rocks with the WNBA. They've been doing a lot more to promote it, especially these past 2 years. I think there's been some ownership that's been transferred to where they're doing more to bring forth the people watching the WNBA game. And as I always say, what you want to do, bro? Gotta follow the money.
Right, gotta follow the money.
So we also know that they've been trying to get a lot more viewers for the WNBA. I'm not saying this is connected to that.
Right.
Maybe, me and you get off here and do some connecting dots and it may come back to that. But I will say, if it's one way to get your viewership up, have one of your best players in one of these kind of situations, is definitely going to get the eyes on the WNBA.
Right.
just a little bit more. But like I said, I don't think that right now I'm not connecting those dots. But that's just one thought that's just coming to mind as I'm talking right
Yeah, man, because man, and I just had this conversation with Sick the other day, right? The stars ass. And it's crazy that you just said that because I mean, let's just be honest, y'all. The WNBA is ass, man. Let's just be honest, man. When I say that though, and I know a lot of you sports heads ass niggas is gonna be like, no, listen to what I'm saying. We all know that women's basketball is ass. Women don't even go and watch it. They don't even support it. They don't promote it. None of that. When you see a chick on any social media platform bigging up anything about the WNBA. See what I'm saying?
well, and even just to kind of add on to that, a reason why they go to play overseas in the off season
Exactly.
is because they don't get paid that much.
Why ain't no chicks that play in the WNBA making having multi-million dollar contracts or major endorsements?
I don't even think they making 250, bro.
Oh my God. Not too Smithy.
I don't even think they're making 250 a year. I'm reading here right now as you just brought that up. It says the financial.
What's the point?
So it's going into the details of what we were just saying. So it says many American players compete with high-paying Russian teams. About 70 WNBA players decide to play with international teams instead of resting during the off season this year, with more than a dozen in Russia and Ukraine. They said that WNBA spokeswoman said that all others beside Griner had left Russia and Ukraine by March 5th with the war in Ukraine underway. That's something else I didn't know. So she was still over there when a lot of them left when the war jade off. Now, it says also, digging into the financial incentives, they say they're compelling because the WNBA players, they make a fraction of what their counterparts do in the NBA. The maximum salary in 2020 for a WNBA player is $228,094.
Wow. And how many games per year do they play?
Women, they probably play like about 40 games.
40 games.
If that, I can't, you don't quote me on that. I know the season is super short because it's like.
See, that just brings life to what I just said. That just brings validity to what I just said. Remember back in the day when who said that? Said you niggas is ass like women's basketball. Hey man, I love y'all ladies, man, but let's just be honest. The WNBA fucking sucks. It reeks, man. It's ass. Horrible, terrible, not entertaining. Why do they do it?
It's not entertaining, but if you got a kid that's coming up in the game, you might want to let them watch the game because it's the right way to play the game fundamentally. But the shit is boring.
36. Look, Sharice. Now, look, Sharice
36.
said,
okay, I was close.
36 season game. That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Ain't it like 80 something in the NBA?
82, yep.
And that's not including the playoffs, right?
No, sir.
That's just 82 season games, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, man, why? Why are they even what you doing it for, man? For what?
And then they go overseas
and make way more than that.
Yeah, some of them, like I know, like my favorite player, Diana Taurasi, who with the UConn Huskies in the building, you already know, she was making over $1 million. Like she was one of the most paid women basketball players. And yeah, man. You know, the thing is they come over here to play kind of what Sharisha said. They love the game. Like they come over here.
Game, man.
they probably come over here and play the WNBA seasons. So they get a little bread, but more probably just so they can be around their families. And then they go overseas to get the real bread. That's what they do.
Right. You know, Uncle Diggity, Uncle D said they want the same money for playing a third of the games in front of a third of the audience. Fuck out of here.
It might not even be a third of the audience, but that's neither here nor there. Because what's crazy is arguably some of the top women's college teams bring in bigger crowds than your WNBA games. If you go to like a UConn game, it's going to be rocking. Tennessee used to rock. You know, you got all these new, you know, schools like they rock. Like women's college basketball actually it goes down. Even though I rock with both. I mean, I can watch it when I get a chance. I'm not like
I mean, you a sports nigga though, right?
Yeah, but I watch it if I see it come on. One of my other favorite players, which ended in another kind of political thing, was Maya Moore, which that's something we could talk about later down the line because that was a whole different situation too.
Right.
That was political when she went to go free her, her now ex-husband. So her shit was even weird because he was sentenced or whatever, and she was doing something where she was freeing people legally, like provided some type of legal help. Went over there, fell in love while she was freeing him, married him. Somehow, while she was going through the process, somebody on her legal team she fell in love with too, and then she ended up getting a divorce and marrying the woman that was on her team. That's like I said, that's a whole different story. But it was also some political story because she ain't returned to the WNBA, and she was one of the stars that could have gave it more leverage and more facial recognition because she was like the one that would go like and hoop at Obama's house with Brown Wade and them. Like she was a real hooper. Like so yeah, I mean it just
you see what Sharice said? Sharice said, "Yeah, I'll take college over WNBA."
That's just my personal opinion, you know. That's
Jonathan Coleman, what's up with you, bro? You already know what it is, man. Come through, slide through one time for your mind, one time. You know what I'm talking about? My man Jonathan Coleman in the building, y'all, man. You're a real one, man.
What's good, brother?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? But not to focus on this aspect, right? But getting into the political side of this situation. You hear me? You still there, Al?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. They're talking about trading her, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me pull something up real quick, y'all.
Yeah, man. They talking.
This is a crazy aspect. This is what got my attention right here.
For Victor Bout. He's a Russian arms dealer known.
Oh, you already got it, L?
Yeah. I already kind of knew a little bit about this from when it first.
He's an arms dealer.
Yeah, his name is Victor Bout. He's a Russian arms dealer. They call him the merchant of death. He served a 25-year prison sentence. He basically was conspiring to sell weapons to people who plan to kill Americans. So here we have a guy that was a well-known arms dealer that had conspiracy to sell weapons that would harm Americans. And this is who they want to trade for somebody who brought less than a gram of cannabis. Let me say it the right way, cannabis, the white term. Had cannabis, 0.7 grams of cannabis oil, not even leaf, flower.
Yeah, it's like oil, like.
And they want to trade her for a known arms dealer. And I think he's done like 10 years or whatever in there already. So I don't think he got the whole sentence that he has to go. But we're also trying to get, I believe it was like a soldier or somebody over there that a former U.S. Trevor Reed, a former U.S. Marine. They was also trying to get him because he's been over there. So they was trying to work that out, but now I think Russia's even trying to ask for more. And what's crazy is Russia actually has the upper hand because in reality they don't have to do shit. They don't have to do anything because they like, shoot, we got one of y'all's biggest stars. And one thing I do want to tap on is that, and it was a question that I was just posing to myself is, I haven't noticed any real NBA superstars speaking up on it, really. I heard like a couple rappers and a couple entertainers speak up on it, kind of send like a tweet Nothing real serious. Kyrie Irving, Marie said something last week. A couple people kind of spoke up when the verdict was read and all that. But
Right.
I haven't really heard anybody really dig into it deep with any real like support or stance on
Right.
it yet. And I always kind of think that's kind of weird because we'll see stuff with cases that we don't really have too much information. I know LeBron James, like he spoke against Asia for it was something a little while back, but you got these guys that probably can sway some opinions, but they've been sitting back and ain't saying nothing. Only thing I can really think of is because at the end of the day, like how we started off this conversation, you're thinking like, man, like, I mean, regardless of what we say, yes, we could try to make this a political thing, but it was wrong and she did break the law.
Right.
What do you do in that case? Like, that's where it's just sticky because she broke the law. She broke the law. It's no way to slice it.
Definitely can't slice it the other way, but this is very interesting. It says that the U.S. and Russia are in talks about swapping prisoners. Now listen, prisoners. Brittany
Yeah,
Griner and Paul Whelan. Who is Paul Whelan?
that's the. I believe that's the. No, that ain't even the Marine. I don't know who Paul Whelan is. The guy I was talking about was Trevor Reed. He was a U.S. Marine, a former U.S. Marine. I don't know who Paul Whelan is. Is that who Russia trying to get also, or is that U.S. trying to get?
No, that's what they want to trade. Brittany Griner and this guy right here.
Oh, they got him for espionage. Okay, which is another bullshit ass. I mean, depending on what kind of espionage. If it ain't harming nobody, motherfuckers just over here with government files on that Snowden. They hate getting exposed in America, but they love exposing people in America. Kind of crazy.
Ain't that crazy?
It's crazy how that
Here
works.
he go right here though.
Mm-hmm.
Fair use. Paul Whelan, a U.S. citizen who remains in prison in Russia, is questioning why he was left behind in the prisoner swap that freed fellow American Trevor Reed. Why was I left behind? While I am pleased. Hold on real quick, y'all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Because Trevor Reed was released in April. So they was hoping that that's why they would be able to get this done quickly. But Trevor Reed ain't got a name like Brittany Griner. That's another reason why these things ain't getting done as quick as people would think they would. I mean, that's really what some of the dots is right there. Like, if we really dive into this, let's see here, man, because I feel like what they going, okay, they said the United States offered to trade Bout for Griner and Wheeler, and that President Biden, who's been growing under political pressure to free the Americans, he had backed out the offer.
Right.
He backed it at first, and then something happened where it didn't go now. Because this was in June when they was having these talks.
Right.
And
Uncle Diggity said, "Do you talking about dude on the screen, Uncle Diggity? You talking about what's his name?
what,
Paul
Victor
Whelan?
Bell?
Talking about Paul Whelan?
Yeah,
Whelan, whatever his name, goddamn name is."
This message is held for review.
Hold on. He said, "Why was I left behind? While I am pleased," he said, "While I am pleased Trevor is home with his family, I have been held on a fictitious charge of espionage for 40 months, Whelan said in a statement to his parents and shared with CNN. The world knows this charge was fabricated. Why hasn't more been done to secure my release? Wayland, a U.S. citizen and former Marine, was detained at a Moscow hotel in December 2018 and arrested on espionage charges, which he has consistently and vehemently denied. He was convicted and sentenced in June 2020 to 16 years in prison, and the trial U.S. officials denounced as unfair. Wayland is also a citizen of the United Kingdom, Ireland, and who is this guy? Who's this guy? See how deep the rabbit hole can go, y'all? L.
Yeah.
See how this story becomes not about Brittany Griner anymore. Now it's about Paul Whelan. What was he involved with to where the Russians locked him up on espionage and the U.S. just left him there?
That's a whole
That's
question.
another topic. You already know, sis. You already know.
Yeah.
It got nothing to do with Brittany Griner at the end of the day, y'all. But we're going to talk about it. Go ahead, El.
Nah, it's just easier to get more, more entertainment value off of it because of her name. Right. Like that's why the Russians went back and probably was like, oh, you know what? We need more.
Putin don't be giving a damn about no secrets the U.S. got. He don't care about none of that shit.
Nah, yeah. That's why they was like, yo, we need more. Because the deal was kind of already in the talks, almost about to get done. Then it was like, as soon as it really went public all the way, like, oh, you know what? Why we sitting here at the table? And then you start asking for more. And I think that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Because it's just weird that we thought that even before it got to like the final verdict and all that she would have already been out. But
exactly,
Biden,
Uncle Diggity. Exactly.
Biden also soft, man. Biden be getting pumped, bro. Like, look at everything that's been going on. And I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, I'm tripping when I say this," but yeah. Got us looking kind of weak out here, low key, not even low key. Like some of the moves ain't American like as in the past. And I always called us bullies, but we getting bullied right now.
This nigga Biden, man.
Yeah, man. Sleepy Joe over here shaking hands with ghosts on stage.
Hold on. In a separate statement earlier Wednesday, the Whelan family expressed happiness about Reed's release after more than 2 years in Russian detention, but said it is a day of varied emotions and questions for them. Elizabeth Whelan, Paul Whelan's sister, told CNN that she had received a call around 7:10 a.m. Wednesday to let us know that Trevor was coming back and Paul was not. I had barely time to alert my parents and brothers when it was all over the news, she said, adding that she was unhappy that we were given so little time to absorb the bad news. Her parents on Wednesday were just devastated, completely crushed, and expecting to have to rely to the news to Paul Whelan, or expected to have to relay the news to Paul Whelan, with whom they spoke Wednesday. However, he had already heard it from the Russian television and was very upset, Elizabeth Whelan said. When I had a virtual call with the Speha group later that day, I let them know in no uncertain terms what I thought of the administration's terrible decision to leave Paul behind, she said. Turns what I thought of the administration's terrible decision to leave Paul behind, she said, referencing the special presidential envoy for hostage affairs. I expect to continue communication with state and the NSC on it. That's the National Security Council, for y'all that don't know what that stands for, on an extremely regular basis until Paul is returned also. The Biden administration has said it will continue to work for Paul Whelan's release, as well as that of detained WNBA player Brittany Griner. I am glad that President Biden reiterated this morning his vow to bring Paul home, because otherwise it feels as though his pledge not to walk away from Paul, given last summer in Geneva, feels hollow today, Paul Whelan's brother David said. State Department spokesperson Ned Price said on CNN that the case of Paul Whelan is one we continue to work on. We continue to work day in, day out. Paul Whelan is wrongfully detained in Russia. Sure he is. Roger Karstens and his team continue to do everything we can to seek his release from Russian custody, he said, referencing the name of the special presidential envoy for hostage affairs. White House Press Secretary Jim Psaki on Wednesday resisted the suggestion that the release of Konstantin Yaroshenko, who's that, who was exchanged for Reed, narrows the chances of Whalen's release, telling reporters. We will continue to advocate for the immediate and unconditional release of Paul Whelan at every opportunity, and using wrongful detention as an opportunity and using wrongful detention as a bargaining chip represents a threat to the safety of everyone traveling, working, and living abroad. So this is the question we got to ask ourselves, y'all, all right, concerning this right here. Surely Brittany Griner knew about this situation, man. Surely she did. And according to what that article just said, that leads precedence for what happened with her to happen. Right? So at the end of the day, like my man Uncle Diggity said, America got us all looking at Brittany while dude's story slipped right through the cracks. You hear me? Not on A Real Talk, it ain't. Because we gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. We started off talking about Brittany Griner. Now we're talking about Paul Whelan and all these other guys who are suspected possible agent provocateurs working for the CIA and stuff like that.
Fake ass Jason Bourne.
On some straight black what was it called? Blackbriar Project.
With the trade song.
Yeah, my phone. It was the Blackbriar group. The Blackbriar group was the one presiding
over that was
Project Treadstone.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Right. But back to Brittany Griner for a second, though, Ill. Right.
Let's do it.
Now, if we look at Brittany Griner, right, Paul's brother David has a net worth of $210 million. What? No, that is not useless info, Uncle Diggity. Who is Paul Whelan? Let me count back up, y'all, before I go pull up what I'm about to pull up about Brittany Griner. Who is Paul Whelan? What agency did he work for? He was a Marine, right?
Yes, he was.
He's an ex-Marine, so he could possibly have been working for any of the various intelligence agencies or a combination of the two. Or maybe he was maybe he was a private contractor for all of them, or some of them, or one of them, right? Definitely doing security. I would almost say that myself too, Sharice. Right? See, now we got to start looking into who Paul Whelan is. And what did he do to get brought up on espionage charges in Russia? You don't just get espionage charges, man. That's not some type of charge you just catch like per se a marijuana charge for 0.7 grams of oil, or maybe like a speeding ticket. But espionage, though.
Here we go. When arrested in Russia, Whelan was director of global security and investigations for Borg Warner, an international automotive parts manufacturer based in Michigan.
In Michigan?
His work with Kelly Services and Borg Warner gave Whelan contacts with law enforcement in many countries.
What's the name of the company again, El?
It's BORGWARNER, Borg Warner. It's one word.
Borg Warner, Russia?
Nah, that's the name of the company that he was doing the global security and investigations for.
Borg Warner.
And that's one word.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
And so they say he was traveling to Russia several times from 2006. He maintained his intermediate presence on a government language social media website. But I don't even know how to say that shit. They start with a V, but contact VKONTAKTE, abbreviation VK. So that's the social media website where he had approximately 70 contacts. He studied Russian, but he communicated online using Google Translate.
Right.
Whelan supported Donald Trump And after Trump's 2016 election victory, Whalen posted in Russian, President Trump onward. It says he holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
Okay.
He has a BA from the University of Michigan, and he took courses at Northern Michigan University from 1988 to 1990 without earning a degree.
So very interesting indeed, Sharice. Yes,
so
he didn't even earn a degree.
Nah, bro, hold up. I'm trying to say, hold up, man, because I need to get my resume up. Because if this man didn't even earn a degree,
right,
he was able to get into the global security, connecting Michigan and Russia, or U.S. and Russia.
Right.
I mean, he was in a definitely high rank position there. So his accusation was espionage. He got charged 16 years in prison, and he's been there for 1,320 days to this day.
Right.
So, yep, he was detained December 28th, 2018.
Right.
So they said, all right, so it gets better.
Now, hold on real quick, El, before you go back in. Hold on real quick. Let me interrupt you real quick, bro. This is Borg Warner's website, y'all. Now, pay attention to what that says on the screen, y'all. I would imagine that Borg Warner is a global internet security corporation, or that's one of the things they're into. I'm gonna have to look into them. I never heard of them before, so I'll have to look into them. I'm pretty sure they're a Fortune 100 to 200 company. Investing in an electrified and sustainable future. See it? Y'all see how we started off? This is about Brittany Griner, but now what are we talking about now, y'all? I want to see how many people rock with their guy, Stacks with the Facts, man. What we getting into now? Investing in an electrified and sustainable future.
A sustainable future. That just keeps popping up, ironically, huh?
The smart grid is now here. I keep telling y'all, man, it don't matter what we talking about, man. It don't matter what we talking about. It don't matter who we talking about, right? It's always going to lead back to all of this UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability. Yes, Lance Parker. The unintelligent artificial intelligence. I don't care what we talking about, y'all. You hear me? And I'm going to let my man L get back to it after I say that. I don't care what we talking about. We could be talking about Brittany Griner. We could be talking about anything that may seem superficial on the surface, but when you do your due diligence, when you tap in and walk with us, you see that on the surface it's seemingly about Brittany Griner, which it is, right? But when we look further into it, as we read and dissect, right, and use our critical thinking, we can see it's clearly more so to do with this Whalen guy and his rich family. Right. Borg Warner total assets, $16.03 billion, says the manufacturer auto parts. I guess Digest or wherever Uncle Diggity got that from. Thanks, Uncle Diggity, bro. 16 billion in annual gross profits, man. So they're a big deal. Like how Brittany Griner is a big deal. Kind of like a big deal, something like a big deal. No, they're actually a big, huge deal.
Yeah, she's peanuts in this.
She's
not
like
even,
she's like poly seeds compared to Borg Warner, man.
Right.
You hear me? Go ahead, L.
All right, so we're gonna dig into a little bit about Whalen since we're here. Whalen. I see somebody in there was talking about his brother David. That's his twin. That's his twin brother.
Twin brother.
So Yeah, so he had a twin brother. Now, he basically arrived in Moscow in December to attend the wedding of one of his fellow Marine people. Uh, and he was assisting the groom's family members on a visit to Russia. So they say he was in and out of Russia. His brother was supposed to come back,
Mm.
and I guess they do business together.
Right, of
Somebody
course.
put that in the chat too.
Right.
His brother's worth some M's too. Now, these guys got money. So Waylon had 80,000 in cash that was confiscated temporarily during a custom inspection in the airport. Waylon acted as a local guide for the wedding guests, but he decided to spend the day of the wedding to meet a friend per the account of the attendees.
Yeah.
Blah blah. He was charged on January 3rd,
It sounded
2019.
spooky already, man.
Now this is where it gets real. So according to the Russian news agency, Waylon was apprehended in his hotel room at the Metropole. They was basically he was out with a Russian citizen who handed him a USB drive containing a list of all the employees of a classified security agency.
Wow.
So it was the independent Latvian-based publication Medusa reported the wedding attendees all banded close together for the duration of the holiday, and they were all taken back. But he basically wanted to spend the day by himself. So whatever. They say Waylon previously bragged about knowing an agent of FSB. All right, so
And if y'all don't know, for y'all that don't know, the FSB is the Russian equivalent of the FBI.
Okay. And he was privy to unusual cache and personal details about his friend. So he was basically out there telling people, including which intelligence training school he attended. And that basically would only be known by people who really know. So he really knew somebody on the inside. So,
right.
And this is people saying that this is him just kind of bragging, like, you know. So he has some real connections and he knew some stuff.
Right.
Now, what they said about the arrest, his longtime friend appeared suddenly in the hotel, followed by authorities who later arrested him. So his friend, basically, according to the lawyers, they said they couldn't provide the name of his Russian longtime friend who planted a memory card in his hotel room. That's in parentheses.
Wow.
Who planted a memory card in Waylon's hotel room, supposedly, due to Russian secrecy rules. But Waylon's family identified the person as Ilya Yatsenko, whom the Russian newspaper called as a major in the FSB Department K, which monitors Russian economic crimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he really did know somebody on the inside.
He knew somebody. And he was bragging about it. And as he was bragging about it, they pulled down on him and charged him with 16 years.
Now, I know it's more to this story than that.
It's about what he said.
But see, and this is my whole point here, L. We started off talking about Brittany goddammit Griner. But as we do our due diligence and break this thing down, we see that it's really covering up this situation. Not so much as covering up this situation, but in some way, so to speak, covering up the situation, lightly dusting over it. All right, you hear me? Y'all bet he will too, sis. I bet he shut his goddamn mouth bragging and shit. But I'm not naive to believe that just gave him all that time because he was just fucking bragging. So we ain't, you know what I mean? But that's another, we have to do some more digging, right? And as y'all see, how easy it is to do a process of elimination, like I said, due to deductive reasoning and critical thinking. See, this is the solution right here. One of the solutions out of this show tonight is doing what we're doing right now. This is how I do my research right here. This is how L does his. Anybody do. We ask questions. We do deductive reasoning. We use a process of elimination, and we use our critical thinking to ask these questions. All right. And this is the reason why we're having these conversations, man. You know what I mean? Go ahead, El.
I mean, man, even me reading that, going over that, my man
Right.
is over there sitting in jail because he wanted to be a chatty patty ass dude. I mean, when you got connections, yeah, it's cool, but you know, you always got them
It's just
cats that
certain shit
always,
you ain't supposed to be talking about, man.
yeah,
When you
man,
working,
like,
you doing what he doing anyway, bro. You something like a spy, bro.
right. But it just goes to show whoever he told the wrong person the wrong information that got reported back. So he like for him to get 16 years, whatever he was talking about had to be something deep. So we have to dig into those other companies that was brought up and more into who that guy Ilya is to probably get a deeper understanding of that background. But that'd be going down a rabbit hole, way too much for tonight. But
Yeah.
as you can see, just us looking at this, we already found out so much more about the overall case and who they're trying to exchange. And it could be that we want to exchange and get him back because he got information that could help us in some way.
Right.
So that's the reason why he could be exchanged and why we may release some of these people who we're looking at like, well, here we are looking at people that only committed espionage and uh, 0.7 grips of cannabis, and we're about to trade these two very non-violent people to somebody who was actually, uh, if you want to call it what it is, was could have been creating a terrorist plot. Because I'm sure if he was an arms dealer getting 25 years, he had a lot of arms and had access to a lot of arms. And I'm pretty sure if he was selling it to people he knew was going to carry out some type of plot against Americans, that is what we normally call a terrorist act. I don't know if y'all ever watched that show 24, my man Jack Bauer, but this is what we call like, you know, either mercenaries. It could have been selling it to mercenaries, as Cherie said, but it's some deep stuff that we got to really look into. And we are willing to even negotiate to trade a guy like this for talking, for a chatty patty ass dude, fake Jason Bourne.
But listen here though, El. So and this is why I
Grits.
say this. This is why I say this though, El. Maybe Paul Whelan ain't just was running his mouth though. Like that's what I'm saying. This is where the critical thinking comes in. At
Yeah, nah,
we
it's more
really
than
gonna
that.
sit up here
It's
and
definitely
think
more than that.
that he just a chat? We're not saying he wasn't being a chatty patty. We're saying, are we going to just accept that that's the reason he got 16 years for being a chatty patty?
That's why he got caught.
Or that's why he got caught.
That's why he got caught
being a chatty patty. But
he got caught being a chatty patty, but no, it's way more deeper than that.
What was he doing, and in what capacity was he doing it?
Project Leroy, they negotiate with terrorists that they don't tell us when it benefits them. It's all what we always say every week: follow the money. It's gonna benefit them.
Project Leroy is silly, man.
Yeah. You don't negotiate with terrorists unless it benefit them. If you keep it under wraps, like what's crazy is if this didn't hit the political wave, like the family, they said the family wasn't even trying to make it political because, or even put it on a loud stage. That's why it didn't get reported for like a couple months. Because they already knew once it hit to the large stage, it would be political. And then this will happen. If this was crazy is if it hit it, Biden would have cut that deal and we wouldn't have known nothing about it. Should have been back before we even known. If they'd have been able to get that deal, if it wasn't for that war that was going on at that time, let's just say it happened a month before, right before the war started, they probably would have got that deal done. We wouldn't even heard nothing about it. She would have got that. They would have got that deal cut right there while she was in the back room in the airport. You know, like these type of deals get cut all the time. We just don't know about them because we watch these TV shows and TV show art imitate reality. These deals, if it's something that benefits U.S., whether it's drug cartel leaders, whatever it may be, and it could get done, and the deal makes sense to U.S. for the moment, they can always go back and catch him again later down the line. But if it makes sense for him, like, hey, no matter how threatening, how terroristic they are, we might think about it if it helps us. It's all about the money. Follow the money always.
Always fall. I told y'all, but what I tell y'all what Lester Freeman said in The Wire, man. You hear me? Always follow the bread, man. The paper. Scratch, squilla, moolah, dough. Fetty, duck is cheese, green. Who remember that? Who remember that? No limit, no limit, no limit, no limit. Y'all know nothing about that, man. But yeah, man. Now this is an aspect right here, L, that we need to touch on too, because it must be brought up, right? Now we all know that Brittany Griner is a member of the LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue committee agenda, right?
Which is also confusing because normally they have power over these situations.
Right. In America, though, right? I told y'all earlier that ain't no LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue committee agenda in goddamn it Russia, man. Right? I bet you
powerful people though, Verge. Like
yeah,
they
over
really
here in
powerful.
America they is, not in Russia they ain't. Right? Okay, let me just say this. Let me take that back. In Western countries, in Western civilized countries, they are. Mr. O and the Ozone Podcast in the building. What's good, brethren? What's happening, Joe? It's my brother from Chicago, Mr. O, right there, man. Dropped that nice little demo earlier, man. Y'all go subscribe to my brother, Mr. O and the Ozone Podcast, man. Go subscribe to him right now. You hear me? But yeah, though, man, the LGBT community, man, they're not really saying too much about this situation. Not that I've seen anyway, right? So don't quote me on that. I haven't seen anything speaking out against it. But you know, normally they would be coming out in their droves over situations like this, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would think that this situation would have been handled if it was. That's what I think gets me is that they normally got the bread, the power, and they run a lot of the political backing. They have a lot of political backing.
Right.
So I would have thought that they would have been able to swing whatever they could swing, and this would have been handled. But it's like they ain't even speaking up on. Nobody is really speaking up on it. Like it comes across even Sports Center every once in a while. Like I've seen it come on like 2 or 3 times on Sports Center, but even there, Sports Center probably has spoke about it more than I've seen any other network or station.
Right.
And that is crazy.
It's absolutely ludicrous, man. As Mike Tyson would say, it's absolutely ludicrous. You hear me? And not only that though, you feel me? And this goes to what I just said. Russia don't bar the LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue committee agenda. Putin don't care nothing about that stuff.
Man,
Matter of fact,
they
ain't got it in Russia. Y'all better do your research. Ain't no LGBTQ nothing over there, man. They don't run nothing. Ain't no flags waving nowhere in Russia. But it ain't nothing but Russian flags running around that joint, man. Putin got that joint on lock. You hear me? Why y'all think they coming at his head so much, man? You hear me? But he's a powerful son of a bitch, man. You hear me? I like Putin personally. You hear me? He a gangster for real. He a true gangster.
His interview was real.
Yeah, and I just wanted to bring this to light, man, because this also goes to show how the Democratic government, right? Not that I'm playing politics with either side, two-party system ideology, because I'm not. I'm just speaking the facts, though. The Republicans ain't no better as a whole, for real, because at the end of the day, they all being puppeted by the same puppeteer. That's another topic for another day, though, right? But the Democrats shown that they just use people, and when they run out of use, they leave you unstuck. Right? We seeing it playing out in this situation right here. They done sit up there and then put the LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue agenda in a headlock and gay y'all noogies. You hear me, L?
And Dave Chappelle can't even say too much on it. That's my man.
then gay y'all noogies like little dumb motherfucker, right?
It's messed up, man. It's
You
just
hear me? Just think about it. Anything that they attach themselves to, they use it for what they can use it for. When they run out of it, they just
it's
ditch it to
gone.
the side, and then they just be like, "Oh no, one like that." Think about any organization that aligns itself with the Democratic Party. Think about Black Lives Matter.
Well, I was just about to tap on that because also it's hard for them to attach themselves because they in a lot of heat right now. So this year has been a very, very bad year for them. I mean, basically, it's dissolved. At this point, we could say
Hey,
it's
that shout out to Simple to P right there, man. Shout out to Simple to P, man. He called him he called the LGBTQ barbecue committee. And I just added I call them the LBGTQ LMNOP agenda. So I just mixed the two together. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Simple P, man. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn it. Y'all heard what my man Uncle Diggity said, man. What my man Project Leroy said, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Tap on in, walk with us. We appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all right here with me and my brother King Els, goddamn it.
Yes.
Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Do it, goddamn it. Brittany Griner, WNBA. Nobody's watching her do it. Dunk.
Man.
Like button, man. You hear me? Appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Go ahead, L, man.
Man, I mean, yeah. All right. It's crazy, man. Just crazy.
Expounding on the whole LGBTQ thing, man. Where they at, man? What you got to say about it, L, man? What's your take on it, man?
Oh, what we talk about as far as like the Black Lives Matters and how that whole thing kind of blew up in the way that was.
We're gonna get into that real quick. Don't talk about as far as Brittany Griner though, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, I just would think that they would have her back more. Like they haven't even really spoke up or said anything, so I don't even know where they at on it. You know, so I think at the end of the day, what they need to do is they need to stand up for her. I mean, it's messed up. It is a bad situation, like I said. I think a reason why a lot of people haven't attached themselves to it because at the end of the day, she was kind of wrong in a sense. You know what I mean? So I mean, not kind of, she was wrong. So it's hard for people to attach themselves to something that it was wrong. Like you could say it's political, yeah. You could say it's whatever it is, but at the end of the day, their rules is their rules. This is what their country.
That's the same shit I was saying, bro.
And it is what it is. It's just tough because you don't see people get that kind of justice. And she is being used as a pawn because they said that the government over there does control the court system and has very, a lot of hands in the decisions, and they definitely put the decision on that because what they was able to do is, if we put her up with 9 years, we got the other cat 16 years. Here we go, and we want this Russian arms dealer. He 25 years, but he done did some of his time too. So if we going at it year for year, we giving y'all more years back than y'all giving us, even though we getting a violent terrorist and y'all getting a couple, a weed smoker and a guy that definitely has some information. He's a spy, and I get, shit, spies, and he could have got gunned down. They could have easily clipped him.
Right.
At least they kept him alive,
So now you got to ask yourself, what information do they have, if any at all?
He's got some information that's worth keeping himself alive, and his brother knows some stuff because, they worth millions.
Right.
Like they family,
I was no small prize.
Nah, I was just looking at his Wikipedia, and you know what I mean, dude is like they company is worth billions.
With that, what's it, Bog Warner?
Yeah. and he was the security director. So you know, if your
Yeah.
company's worth billions and you're a director of something, then you're making millions.
Right.
Easy.
Easy.
You know, like that's not even up for question.
Right.
And his brother also is like they don't mention it too much of his brother in here, but you could tell
I
that
bet
him and
they
his
don't.
brother, his twin brother, is very connected. Like we need, like I'm pretty sure if I did a wiki on him, he would pop up with some hot shit too.
Right.
Because he's the only person that's mentioned that has knowledge of when and where his brother is going. Because he's the one who reported it because he knew when he was flying out, when he was landing. So his twin brother David is somebody that definitely knows a lot of information too.
Exactly. So with that being said, y'all, if y'all want to do y'all's due diligence, now that y'all know this aspect of the whole Brittany Griner fiasco, check into who Paul and David Whalen is. Check into what's the name of the company again? Borg Warner.
Yeah, Borg Warner.
Borg
Yeah.
Warner. Borg Warner. BORGWARNER. Borg Warner. They're a cyber security network firm. They deal in cybersecurity, technology, software, and hardware, I would imagine, applications.
And they deal with law enforcement in a lot of different countries.
And they deal with incorporating these technologies that they patented into foreign and international governments, agencies, and security and policing agencies. The smart grid is now here. I keep telling y'all, man. I know a lot of people hear me say that. Yeah, they probably think this nigga Ver's tripping, man. Nah, man. The smart grid is here, man. Exactly. That's the same thing I was thinking. Project Leroy. That's my nigga, man. That nigga Project Leroy. I was thinking the exact same thing, man. Like I have to look them up. I guarantee you they're a Fortune either 100 or 200 company. I guarantee it. He said Brittany should see if they got a basketball team. Hey, that nigga Uncle Diggity said Brittany should see if Borg Warner got a basketball team.
Yeah. Hold up, bro. Let me hold on. Let me read something, bro.
Right, go ahead. Bless us, man. You know, we use the empirical data too, but we also use our critical thinking to break that down, as y'all see.
So they said he originally, all right, so he enlisted in the Marine Corps in '94. He took military leave from Kelly Services. So remember I said that was a company that
You
he
mean like
worked.
Kelly Employment Services?
Kelly Services, I'm not sure. It's got to be something bigger because that was also mentioned when I was talking earlier about
Yeah, I remember you said that.
about Borg Warner. So that was he had worked with Kelly Services and Borg Warner. So I imagine I'm going to go off the ledge and say that Kelly Services and Borg Warner kind of does the same work.
Right.
Because he took a military leave from Kelly Services. So that might be something connected with the military.
Right.
To serve with the Marine Corps Reserve from 2003 to 2008,
Oh,
including
see?
service
Hey,
in Iraq.
Hell, let me stop you real quick. See, this is let me cam up real quick.
Because now it's starting to make sense when he started getting that information.
This is why we had these conversations. Look at my homie Project Leroy. That's why I fuck with you, nigga. You hear me? Kelly Services. I used to be a contractor for that company.
Okay.
Project Leroy, you were in the military, right, bro?
Yeah. Okay. Now it's starting to make even more sense because they said he held the rank of a staff sergeant in the Marine Air Control Group 38. He is working as an administrative clerk and an administrative chief. He's a part of the Operation Iraq Freedom. You might know something about that.
I know about Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Yeah, and then they said after a court-martial conviction in January 2008 on multiple counts related to larceny, he was sentenced to 60 days restriction reduction of pay grade E4, and a bad conduct discharge. The specific charges against him included attempting to steal more than 10,000 in 2006 in Iraq using a false. He was using a false social security number
Oh,
to
so he
create.
been on some bullshit.
Yeah, he was trying to create a false account on the government computer system to grade his own examinations.
Wow. So
And
that's
then
why they recruited him,
yeah,
Dale.
right. So that's when they probably, because if you look at the timeline, this is when they said that was in 2008.
Right.
And he was in the Marine Corps from 2003 to 2008.
Right.
But he was traveling back and forth to Russia from 2006. And that's when he started popping up on the media, that social media website I was talking about.
Right. What's it called again?
It's the Take. So it's like VKO.
A Russian website.
TAKTE, yeah, abbreviation VK. And they said he had about 70 contacts, and he, he'd be on there. But that's where, if you look at that connection, that time that he went back, so he left Kelly Services as a contractor, as Project Leroy said. He was in there, but then he was like, I'm going back to the reserves. And then he went to go work on them accounts, and as he was in that back and forth, he was traveling to Russia.
Right.
And that time period, that's when something fizzled up. Because he was definitely heavily connected there in Russia after that. And then that led up to his arrest later down the line. But
dang.
Yeah, we just digging a little bit.
Yeah, man. So basically, this ain't really got nothing to do with Brittany Griner, for real. So that's how. See, now that we know all this information, that's how we know that one or two things. It's a strong possibility that Brittany Griner may be coming home. But then again, now that this is public, maybe she won't. Detroit 313, what's good, bro?
What up? Yes, sir. What's good, brother?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm talking about, man. This is crazy, man. See, and this is why I say we gotta have these conversations, L, because we on the surface most people would think that this is about Brittany Griner, and to some extent and degree it is. But as we see, when we tap in and walk, right, we see that this really ain't got too much to do with Brittany Griner, but they're making it about her, so we don't take a look at what it's actually about. More than likely, considering the what we just did, what we just found out concerning David and Paul Whelan and Borg Warner Industries, right? See how all this stuff is connected, man? It's crazy, man. And then, not even to mention that though, L, but then we got this how they just used up the LGBTQ community like they a old dish rag or something, man, like a wet food stamp.
I mean, yeah, it's wild. It's definitely wild. I mean, like I said, it's messed up. She caught up in this, neglecting all her surroundings, playing with her whole life. We got to be accountable for our actions. We always talk about that. And we're going to talk about the solution on this. We also always got to get into solutions on this situation before we go off into anything else, because I want to make sure we don't keep going over. But like I said earlier, you go international flying, make sure you know your law. Whenever you're doing anything,
it's an absolute must.
Like, I stayed in New York. I used to travel back and forth to New York. One thing I know is you cannot take a gun into New York. I'm not saying I didn't take one, but I know that when I go to New York, if I get caught with a gun in New York, mandatory or minimum 1 year in jail. That's minimum. Like, anybody. You see, they did it to Lil Wayne. They do it to anybody. It's 1 year minimum for a gun. if you go there, you get caught with it. It don't matter who you are, you're gonna do that here.
For sure.
It's when you go to other countries, you know, I go like I said, I've been to Mexico a couple times. I know if I get caught with them trees on that island or whatever or in Mexico, I know that they gonna try to lock me up in that jail or they're gonna try
Right.
to bribe me. I
Right.
already know. I know what it is. Like I've
Right.
heard the stories. You talk to people when you get to the resort. First thing you doing, if you a weed smoker, first thing you doing, you either trying to cop something or you at least asking people if you do cop, like you might want to know what's going to go down. And sometimes you just bump into people telling you stories. Like I heard people getting shook down, like right after they came back from the shakedown, coming to the resort, telling me like, "Yo, we just got shook down." I never got shook down anywhere I've been, but I've heard the stories, and I know I'd be like scared shitless myself too, and I'd have gave them what they asked for too, because I ain't even trying to play with nobody's other country jails and sitting in nothing. Like
None of that.
I ain't trying to have y'all doing none of this for me.
Right.
I don't want y'all to have to do one of these
Hey.
podcasts for me in another country by
They
yo.
definitely ain't trying to get locked up in no Mexican jail, man. I haven't seen them documentaries on that, but you mess around and get shot in the prison in Mexico, man.
I mean, I ain't trying to go no prisons, nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, don't even take me downtown to the county no more. Like, I
Hey.
don't want to. That's why I don't even like y'all. What's them clogs or whatever? What they be wearing?
Them
Them,
shower shoes.
oh, bro, man, I don't even.
You
Hey,
talking about the goddamn Crocs?
the Crocs, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
them jail, them county shoes.
Those account the county specials, you know what I mean?
Yeah, county Force One.
Right. Every time I see them, it give me flashbacks and it make me like, I don't want to go back. No more locked doors.
Yeah,
No
man, that's
more.
no joke, man.
Never again in my life,
Yeah,
bro.
I was thinking that too, though. Project Leroy. As soon as he started saying something about New York, I automatically thought about Lil Wayne. I automatically thought about Plexico versus silly ass before Lil Wayne.
And he shot himself and they put him
And
in
that's
jail for a
crazy,
year.
right? But then think about this, though. Think about the connection right there. Lil Wayne shot himself too.
Yeah.
But he didn't go to jail for it.
Nah, Lil Wayne, he shouldn't have. What's crazy, Lil Wayne shouldn't have went to jail.
He really shouldn't have.
Somebody should have took that charge. That
Yeah,
was
somebody
crazy.
was supposed to. But I guess that was to get him some street cred or whatever.
Right. But to kind of bring that back to the way that even relates to this is because,
Right.
like I said, when you break the law in certain places, you
gotta
know those laws. Like, I'm pretty sure most of us, we don't even know laws like that at other places, but just from even hearing the Lil Wayne situation or Plexico Burgess, that situation, we know you don't go to New York with a gun because they're going to sit you down.
Listen here, L. Any guy who can say he's a street nigga at some point in his life knows that. I done traveled to New York myself plenty of times over the years, and I'm telling y'all right now, I ain't never in my life thought about taking no strap to goddamn in New York, man.
Well, see, I was living there, so I ain't gonna lie. I was living there, but I knew the consequence, and if I would have got caught with it, I wouldn't have been out here playing or being like simply like, oh, like if I got caught with it, I got caught with it. I knew what it was, but I was living in New York, and I was in Brooklyn, and I was in East New York. And you listen to the songs, they're real. I actually stayed in a cool part, but it still just was it was different, you know.
It's still the hood, man. Still the hood.
I never had no issues. Like I had great experiences, but still, I knew if I got caught with it, I knew what it would be. But that's what it is, man. Like when you out here, you can't do certain things, and that if we want to tie it back into just regular out here daily, like a lot of things that we see people do, you got to know the repercussions and you got to know what your actions could lead to if you get caught. And you got to start weighing whether it's worth it or not. Like, is your life worth that 10,000 that you might get this dude for, or is it worth you shooting up somebody in front of everybody, or just shooting somebody, period, killing somebody? Is it worth your life for that? Like, what's the value of what you hold in every move that you make? When you hit a certain age, you gotta start weighing these values,
Definitely.
and you got to start weighing it up. Like, is the time justified for what it is? And sometimes, is it worth giving your whole life away? Is it worth risking your life? Because then you could get popped, or even the retaliation could come back to you. And yeah, we know some people that got caught up in shit where it's like we knew what it was
Right.
instantly. And yeah, we might have been mad, like, and we might even wanted to ride for a certain situation. But in some of the situations, we might even know, like, damn, that was shit that was going to come back regardless, because that's what they was engaged, and that's what they was always going to be. And some people
Right.
ain't going, but just like I said, just bringing it back, relating this to everyday situations, we really got to start thinking about our movements. And when you hit that certain stride, when you really start to think about taking care of your family, and you understand that being gangster is actually taking care of your family, that's what's gangster. It ain't about out here shooting, popping, putting your life on the line, out here hustling every day. Like, I ain't knocking nobody to do what they do, because some people do it because that's all they could do. But at least try to transition into something that could be legal.
At
At least
some
try to
point.
get yourself out of it, pull yourself out of it. The goal is not to stay in the mud.
Right.
Like, you
Yeah.
don't want to stay in the mud. Pull
That's
yourself
a
out the
fact.
mud. Clean yourself off, get clean. Like, your goal should be to wear suits every day and go into business meetings, and you pointing and directing people to do stuff, and being the boss of your life. Like, that,
Right.
that should be your goal, not being on the corner and risking your life or looking over your shoulder every day. Like, that's not fun.
At
That's
all.
not gangster.
At
That's not
all.
it's not cool. For one, if you care anything about your family and the people that love you, if you have any real love for them, you wouldn't put yourself in that situation. And some of the situations are unavoidable, but the most you can do is at least try to move where you don't have to worry about that in life. And I
Right.
think a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, a lot of people definitely don't do that. I've been one of those people.
Yeah, we all been. We all made silly ass moves and did shit where we look back
Hmm.
like, damn, like I said, I was in New York with a strap. I knew exactly what it was. I risked time, and it was time that I didn't want to give of my life, whether it was a year or whatever it was. I don't want to give no time away, uh, and that's just the way we are. Like, nobody wants to do any time. You don't want to spend no time away from your family, your loved ones,
Right.
but some of us do things that we risk, and we know the consequences, and yet we still risk it. But
Right.
at a certain point, you got to start really weighing up and start making those decisions based on, you got kids, you got family, you got your mom, you got whoever it is that you love. You got to start
Exactly.
making decisions based on, because it doesn't just affect you. Even if you get killed, it ain't just affecting you. It's
Right.
going to affect your kid forever. It's going to affect your mom. It's going to affect your family members. It's going to affect your
Community.
friends. It's going to affect your community.
Definitely
And
going to affect the community.
if it's over something that you could have probably maybe just walked past, maybe, not say it too much, like just shake it off. Like, it's just certain shit that I think that we gotta start doing more to walk past to
Right.
get to the bigger picture. And I'm the
Right.
same way. I'm victim of this too sometimes. Like, I
Yeah.
still got work to work on, but
We all
we
do.
we all gotta start thinking about that, because that is a huge problem in our community.
Right.
Now, I'm getting way off, but I just had to
Nah,
kind
you
of
ain't
bring
off
it
at
back.
all, bro.
Yeah, I just had to bring it back, because I
Yeah.
still, the way that this applies to everything is that, yes, she's in a messed up situation.
Right.
Yes,
That's
this
a
is
fact.
it's messed up. It has turned political because of who she is and what her name, the weight it holds.
Right.
Yes, and that's why all of this is happening. That's why she got the 9 years. If she was a regular person, like we started off where I read, the girl got caught with 17 grips
Hmm.
and only got 60 days
60 days and a $15,000 or
$15,000
15,000
fine or
ruble.
whatever ruble.
Rubles.
And here we are looking at 9 years, 9.5 years after serve time.
Goddamn.
And 1 million rubles.
Jeez.
Because of her name. It has really nothing to do all the way with the situation. As we can see, it can't have nothing to do. And then they were trying to say she was smuggling it.
Smuggling.
Now, I'm not sure if the other girl was coming to the country or if she was flying
like
out.
A half a zip, a little bit over halfy.
But she did have a half, and she spent her time in that. She still had to sit down too. So let's not just act like she had to.
60 days, right?
60 days. It wasn't nothing.
Right.
I mean, I ain't gonna say it wasn't nothing because 60.
I mean, 60
days. 60 straight days is a lot.
60 days. That's 60 days out your life. Goddamn.
Out your life. I mean, ain't nobody got rewinding it back. Ain't nobody trying to miss no time.
None. Zero.
Andrea,
what's up, baby? How you doing, man?
What's up?
Yeah, man. That's the best stuff. One day is too long. Goddamn it.
Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, like I just feel like the whole situation it is tied, like we said, to the Paul. Paul is the main guy.
Yeah.
She is the background with the front picture. She is who we all look at. What they going to do?
Hold on, I gotta stop you. You hear what my nigga just said?
They pulling on them heartstrings.
She's the background. She's the background, but she's the front picture. But the whole situation is really about Paul. You hear me? Dang. Man, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. She's really the background, but she's the face of this whole thing. And it's only because of the name that she holds and the way she holds. Nobody knows who Paul is.
Nobody knows who Paul is.
You know?
Or David.
Or David.
Or Borg Warner.
Or Borg Warner, yeah.
Or
and
whoever the supposed boot, whatever his name is, man.
And that company's in Michigan. It ain't even too far from us. It's in the Midwest. Right. We don't know nothing about it.
Right. Big company.
But as we can see, it's a $1 billion company.
Right.
These guys are millionaires. These guys have obviously connections. They've been in the military.
Intelligence agencies, mind you, the intelligence agencies and the military.
They've been dishonorably discharged, as we can see, Paul, for fraudulently making Social Security cards.
Yeah, Social Security card. That sit up
bank
there
accounts.
Try to alter his
own examination.
Military and shit.
So he's trying to boost his scores as a guy who didn't graduate from college, as we see, 2 years of college. So he has these connections. He's great at making connections. That's one thing we know for sure. He's great at making connections. He's definitely a great people person. Right. I can tell by this. He's utilizing his work to get ahead, and you can tell he's a greedy guy because he's already making millions of dollars, and some of the things that he's getting caught up in are $10,000 schemes and shit like this. So he's probably a gambler. I'm more likely to say he's a gambling guy, and he just loves to. He's greedy. He's a greedy guy.
I'm gonna tell you what type of guy he is, man. Y'all remember the movie True Lies?
Yeah.
Remember the guy who Jamie Lee Curtis's character was supposedly cheating on Arnold Schwarzenegger with? The dude who was the car salesman, scammer type guy. Y'all remember who I'm talking about in the movie True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, that's when
the little swindler. Mm-hmm. It was the little swindler white guy who had the car lot, who ganged her up, had her thinking that he was a spy.
Right.
Remember, he was telling her that he was a spy, but really her husband Arnold Schwarzenegger was the real spy.
Yeah, that's what the whole flip was.
That's the type of nigga this nigga Paul is.
Yeah, and that's what I think he was probably doing. when you think about it, he probably
But see,
bragged.
this is it. This is the thing. The thing with Paul is Paul's actually involved with this shit, though. As we see, he's ex-Marines, contractor for Borg Warner. You hear me? He has mass liaisons, connections with different intelligence agency network and people who work within them and the military. And his people have a company that's worth, he's connected to a company that's worth billions.
Works with IT and security.
And we think this is all about Brittany Griner. Oh, how deep the rabbit hole goes. But you don't look at it from a deep perspective. You look at it from a wide perspective, right? See, we ain't even really dig that deep for real, L. You understand what I'm saying, L?
Nah, we not. But
we just scratching the surface still. I'm pretty sure it's a lot to know about David and Paul Whelan. And this arms dude, too. Wonder who he's connected with in Russia. As an arms dealer, anyway.
Yeah, Victor was popping. He was popping up in Angola back in the 1980s. He was assisting the People's Movement for the liberation of Angola in the Angola Civil War. He's in the Africa? One. Yeah. And stated he was, he was the one who got that popping off. He was supplying the guns for the Angola War, the Angola Civil War back in the 80s.
Yeah, you did, Andrea, man. You're going to have to watch the replay, baby. You missed a whole bunch. We chopped up a big game tonight, man. You know what I'm talking about? We got my man King Els from E&E in the building, man. I'm part of E&E myself, Stats with the Facts. Y'all got us in the building, man. What's up with y'all? How y'all doing? Thank y'all for watching us. You know what I'm saying? Listening, tapping with us, man. Hit that like button. You know what I'm talking about? Do a David and Paul Whelan, you know what I'm saying, scam drop on the goddamn like button. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Subscribe to the page, sharing your social engineering, man. Thank y'all for coming out and being with us, man. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. Y'all can be anywhere in the world, but y'all right here with us, and we're going to chop up this game on these situations that be put in front of us, trying to make us believe something different than what is going on, because they ain't mentioned nothing. Not in depth anyway. Y'all see how when I brought that article up, it just briefly mentioned Paul Whelan. It didn't get into who he was. It just mentioned his name. It made the article was worded to make it seem like all about Brittany Griner, and it just threw Paul Whelan's name in there. And most people have probably read that article and didn't even pay attention to that or even ask who the hell Paul Whelan is. Because this is about Brittany Griner. Right?
Man, this dude, they let this man out, man. He was supplying real wars.
Right.
Like he was over here basically the Liberia, Sierra Leone.
Yeah, he was on his Lord of War shit. He was on his Nicolas Cage and Jared Leto shit.
It might have been based off of him, honestly. He was over there. They say he denied dealing with Afghanistan, but they found shipments that came from some of his old spots going to Afghanistan, to the Northern Alliance. They say he had Bulgaria. Man, hold up, man. He was in Togo. He
all over Africa, huh?
He's the one who was supplying Charles Taylor with arms for the use in the First Liberian Civil War. So he was out here like basically
he's a major guy
supplying civil wars.
He's a major guy.
Yeah. And they definitely have connections to Afghanistan, because they brought more up about that later on too. So the war in Afghanistan, they thinking that he might have even supplied the Afghanistan war back in 2000s and 2001 and all that.
They're talking about Al Qaeda?
Yes.
Wow. See how when we do our see how deep, see how it goes? And
So
this is
that,
why I be telling y'all,
yeah,
man, connect the dots. And we think this is all about Brittany Griner.
if they get him back, man, this dude, he out here wild. It ain't worth it. It's best step for me to say that, bro.
Yeah.
It ain't.
I just be thinking, like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like when we come to situations like this, I just be thinking like, man, listen here, man. You know what I mean? Like we think it's about Brittany Griner, man.
It ain't worth it, man. Why? I don't know why she did that, man. Like that's the only thing I could say. It ain't worth it, man. Like it ain't worth all of this. And it was some simple actions. She probably could have had somebody. It would have been even safer for her to have somebody maybe try to even fly that over to her or something. I don't know, but not you. You know, you can't take that yourself. Like
Right.
maybe you get a flunky or something to come
That's
over
what I
there and
was
fly
saying,
with you.
man. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Man,
she ain't got like
not
an
even,
assistant or
yeah,
somebody
man.
like that.
You don't do that yourself, man. And I don't even believe that a dog can sniff cannabis oil like that neither. So I think it was something that they knew what was going on. Like
Hey,
I'm
man.
because they said that at the airport the dog sniffed it out.
Right.
Nah, man, you ain't sniffing out no cannabis oil packed in the bag. I'm sorry, like I don't care how you train them dogs. It ain't no way a dog is sniffing cannabis oil through a bag in a tube, locked in it. No, I
0.7 gristles though, not even a whole GG.
I refuse to believe that the dog really are that trained. I refuse to. If it was, then I could be wrong, but I need to see some videos with the dogs doing that. I need to see some videos for real. I need to
They
see
being
it.
trained to sniff out THC oil cartridges.
Man, because bro, like I said, I've actually walked through with like 4 or 5. Like, because when I go on trips, I don't know if I could find anything on me when I go out the country. I take my oils. Now I don't put them on me. She was bold even having them on her because I think she got hit going through the thing. Like I put mine on the check in.
Right.
I don't take nothing on me. Like people tell me that they take their trees through they and I've had them when I just went on a trip. They went through my bags and I had it in there and they still didn't find it. And they went through. They put the little TSA note like TSA went through your bags. Still didn't find it. And I had to have it. And here it is. You try to tell me that they found a little cannabis thing. And how they even know it was cannabis? You don't even know that until you smoke it. Because how they know it wasn't just regular vape oil? Like, ain't no way
Right.
you gonna tell me that I ain't got no vape oils. How you know it's THC or unless you actually smoke it yourself or pull it out and test it. So don't. So it already kind of like because that's one thing I was.
It don't smell like marijuana.
No, it don't.
All right.
It don't. And the fact that not only does it not smell like marijuana or cannabis, uh, it's how you know it ain't like because I used to vape. How you know it
Right.
ain't vape oil?
Right.
How you know it ain't nicotine oil? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
They got the little nicotine vapes. Like, how you know it ain't that?
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
have to. So, what did y'all do? Y'all like, unless you just can't take nothing in it. See, like I said, once again, I don't know all that, but still, she knows. She got to know the laws. And at the end of the day, they still found it, and it is illegal what she did, and it is what it is. But these are just the things that kind of get me. Like if they saying that the dog sniffed it out at the airport, it's hard for me to believe that she only had one of those pins, and that dog sniffed out one pin out of 0.7 grips. Like that
It's
was a
laughable, man. It's
that
laughable.
that dog has to get an award.
It's
Like
laughable, man.
he sniffed out point 0.7 in the airport. Like you almost could have been better smoking before you went to the airport and had weed on your clothes and had a more of a stench on you doing that when you landed. Still, just having a stench of weed on your clothes and then somebody sniffing out point 0.7 of a weed oil pen inside your bag, tucked away, probably in clothes. It probably at least has a little stench. Your kind of your smell on them, or at least your laundry detergent smell on them, or something.
Right.
Like it really went. Like it wasn't like I could see if you had some loud on and it was just kind of like okay, you could smell it. But a weed oil pen, you ain't sniffing no weed oil outside the pen. That is metal. It's in a tube. I don't know if y'all ever, because I'm trying to make this for the people who may not even know what we talking about when we talk about a pen and what she actually got caught with. A cartridge is what she had, and it's a very little one because they normally come in like the whole grips. So what she had was a point 0.7 pen. It's like if you want to look at what can I compare it to? A pen. Like if you look at like a pen, even like a thick pen, that's what it looks like. And it's can it may be like a oil. It's a glass case with the oil inside. And inside the glass case, you hook it up to like a charger battery or whatever the smoker, and you inhale it and you exhale, and that's what it is. It can be used. It can be cannabis oil in it. It could be CBD, or it could be vape oil. There's multiple different. They even have nicotine oils now for people that's trying to wing off cigarettes. So it's different kind of oil. So that's all thing where all right. If you see the cartridge, how do you know it was cannabis off top? Could have been CBD, which I think they was trying to flip it to say it was CBD, but at the
Right.
end of the
Right.
day, I think that's still illegal. So it don't matter. It still was illegal. I'm not taking her off the hook. I am holding everybody accountable because you have to. But also, how can you smell that? That's what I'm just. I think that's what I have to get more questions on. Also, how did the dog actually smell that? Because I don't believe you could smell that. There's no scent. It's zero.
I'm with you on that one, L man.
My fault. That was a little rant, but I'm just because I'm just trying. My mind's just kind of going and turning. I'm like, well, how? You know, because it's no scent on those. Or I used to. I have those pins for. I keep one. I keep a pen on me now, like in case I'm at work or something. Like I light that up. I'll be at the gym sometimes and take a puff, and I'll be cool. At the end of the day, you don't even smell like you might smell it if somebody hit it
This nigga Project Leroy silly as hell. He said from Rush Out with Love.
with love, with the night dope ass hats that they used to have. I used to rock the Russia
Tore her
hats.
dumb ass out there for 9 years, man.
But she gotta be smarter, man. I'm gonna tell y'all, do not be going in these countries taking nothing.
Nothing.
I was even scared taking a certain because sometimes they tell you you can only take a certain amount of bottles. And I remember one time I was pushing the limit. And I was even in line shitting bricks because you got to go through customs, and customs ain't fun to go
Right.
through. I've been, like I said, I've been pulled out of line of customs twice. Twice. I don't like that. I don't like getting pulled out of line for customs for anything, and I know I ain't even did nothing. But the one time I did have too many bottles, but they let me go through cool. You know, and even then I was shitting bricks because it clearly said the amount of bottles you can have, and I was taking too many bottles, and then they pulled me out of line. But I was coming back from Jamaica, so I imagine they probably thought black guy coming back from Jamaica. Let's
Right.
see if he got any pigs in the. I got it, you know what I mean? Because I got pulled over going to Jamaica and coming back.
Dang.
Like, yeah, they was on me in Jamaica.
Right.
The first one was quick. When we first got there, they just pulled me to the side. They had the dogs there, and that's when I had the pins. Like I said, I always
Right.
take me like 3 or 4 pins. It was in the bag, and they dog like, hey, have nothing. Then they was like, all right, you go off. Now when I came back from Jamaica, that's when they took us in the room, and that's when they did like the little check. They searched the whole bag. They tore the whole bag up and everything. Like,
They weren't playing no games, was they?
Nah, nah.
None.
The lady next to me, she was hot. Yeah, she definitely was going down. She was going down. She was doing something hot. She had the pills. She had like about 5, 6 different pill bottles filled up with pills to the top.
Mm.
Just ain't in your name. I'm like, you know me. I'm just trying to mind my business, bro. You know how I do, but I do know that she got jammed up. But like I said, it ain't no fun going through that, man. When you
It
going in
ain't.
and out the country, and she's well groomed because she's a USA basketball player.
Right.
The USA, they just played in Russia not too long ago. Matter
Right.
of fact, the Russian Olympics was just not too long ago, and they always playing basketball over there. So
So she's
she
very familiar with the laws, basically.
she has to be, and
Right.
I'm pretty sure they had trees over there because them dudes, the
They blow
USA
trees in
do.
Russia, man.
Yeah, they smoke. So I'm not sure why she even had to take it over there. Like, why couldn't you just get it while you was there? See, me, I do it in countries because I don't have all the connections all the time. Like when I go to Jamaica, I ain't gotta worry about it. Like you ain't gotta worry about nothing going to Jamaica. As soon as you get it off the plane, they telling you, asking you. As soon
Hey,
as you get
man.
off,
Hey, man.
yeah, you ain't even making it to your transportation vehicle to get to your resort, and they already on you. But like when you go to Mexico, they tell you Mexico, DR, all them other kind of country, all they got is blow. You want some coke? Like we get you coke right now. You want to take that ride? But we ain't got no like, and they tell you like I don't even want to say you what we got. I'm like,
I'll
all right.
tell you. I don't even want to tell you what we got.
That's all you gotta tell me. I ain't out here begging. I ain't no drug head like that. Yes, I do want to smoke. I do smoke a lot, but I don't. I'm not even trying to risk it. Like I'm cool. I don't even want no coke. Like if I did it, I wouldn't even get it in no other country like that because you don't know what's going on. That's how they get you, man. I watch Taken. You know what I mean? I ain't no silly cat. Like man, I be like reserved on them resorts, bro. Like
Oh, man.
bro, I'll be on one. I mean, I'm cool. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have fun. But yeah, bro, she was tripping, man. She had to know her laws,
bugging. Acting 14 karat crazy, man.
and she's a superstar,
Like a
man. Why?
superstar. You would think like she's a college educated chick.
Why are you
College,
holding
hold
it?
on, L. College educated / indoctrinated. You would think that she would have the temerity to at least be familiar with the Russian laws concerning marijuana anyway, especially as a U.S. national.
And I'm like,
You would think that
how?
you would assume that she knows this. It could be
Why is it?
argued clearly.
Yeah, that's why it also kind of makes you scratch your head, like what's really
Listen,
going on.
now that I know about Paul and David Whalen, man, I'm not even focused on Brittany Griner no more. I need to find out more about Borg. What's it called again? Borg Warner. I
Yeah,
need to find out what was going on with Borg Warner and David and Paul Whalen and who they connected to. See, that's a whole nother. See how the web gets tangled up.
I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't tied up to Elon or something.
You know, you never know. Only
That's
if
it.
you do, you only find that stuff out when you do your due diligence.
Hmm.
Oh, and I got both of these dudes' names. Matter of fact, I'm about to write them down right now. You hear me? Paul and David Whalen. Was it Borg Warner?
Yeah, Borg Warner. Yep.
Man, listen, man.
David and Paul Whalen.
David, listen here, y'all. Out of all the stuff we talked about tonight, forget about Brittany Griner. Forget about her. Y'all need to go find out who Paul and David Whalen is and what's going on with Borg Warner Industries. And they talking about how they creating sustainable electrical security systems. Keyword sustainable. We got my man Self in the building. What's good, cuzzo? You already know, man, Self, man. You already know, man. You already know, man. When I first seen this story, it just did something to my spirit. I felt it in my water, so to speak. You know, you hear me, man? I'm like, man, something ain't right about this, man. Especially when I found out she got booked with less than a G. I'm like, a Grizzly Adams?
Yeah.
She got knocked with less than a Grizzly Adams, y'all.
In a cartridge. In a cartridge. Like, I couldn't believe that. Like, not in a cartridge. Like, I don't even know how a dog could. Like I said, I'm perplexed.
That's what I'm saying. And this is what I'm saying, y'all. When we come to these stories, we can't just accept exactly. That's the whole thing we've been talking about, self. Cuz look at the timing. Look at the timing. Hey, this what L said earlier, man. It's like my nigga Ralph, my nigga Self just coming. Look at the timing, man.
Yeah,
you hear me?
Timing right after.
Come on, y'all, man. This ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn Brittany Griner, for real, man. She's a scapegoat. Like, are we up here sitting here really going to believe that Brittany Griner, being who she is, forgot that she had her fucking vape pen in there, and or even then forget she tried like I'm Brittany Griner. I don't care. I've been arrested, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and go up in here with my. Nah, man. I'm not buying it, man. My nigga Self said this is classic USAC. This, hey, listen here, Agent Provocateur, dog. This is classic USSR tactics, not Russia tactics.
Yeah, that's our old school
USSR tactics. See, if y'all ain't our age, y'all don't know nothing about the USSR. Y'all only know Russia. Y'all don't know nothing about USSR. And that Berlin Wall and all that situation. Y'all don't know nothing about that, man. Exactly, Uncle Diggity.
I take it back.
And see, that's how they add that into, Andrea. This is how they add the spin into it to where like it's kind of got something in the arena when I talked about plausible deniability. But this is what they add that other aspect into. This is how you know this shit is orchestrated.
Yeah.
You feel this is how you know things like this be orchestrated on massive levels, because what are the chances of Brittany Griner, of all people, being caught with 0.7 grams at the airport or whatever the situation was, being a person who frequents Russia, literally just played in the game not too long ago. So, I mean, it's not like they don't know who she is in Russia. I mean, she plays on the team over there. Pretty sure that wasn't her first game ever over there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got to start dissecting these stories, y'all, not just accepting what these people is telling us, man. You know, and through a process of critical thinking, deductive reasoning, process of elimination, asking the right questions, not just any questions, but the right questions. The number one question being why, and the number two question being cui bono, who benefits? Who benefits from us believing that this situation is all about Brittany Griner? Who benefits from that? David and Waylon, or David and Paul Whelan definitely benefit. Any of the intelligence agencies that they were connected to and affiliated with definitely benefit from us focusing on Brittany Griner or thinking it's about her. Not only that, the people on the other side who work for these agencies that are in certain areas of government or whatever, they stand to benefit as well, because then ain't nobody asking no questions about who the hell David and Paul Whelan is and what's going on with Borg Warner.
Or Victor Bout.
And Victor Bout. Who's this Victor Bout guy? What's going on with Victor Bout? What is his connection with Putin or anybody in Russia? Who is this guy?
Colombia.
Why Russia? Why Putin want his ass?
Yeah. Well, he definitely knows how to fund wars. Well, not fund wars, but he knows how to arm wars. So that was his thing. And I didn't even tell you, he was arrested in Thailand, basically all for the terrorism, which we was talking about. And this dude was smuggling arms to the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia to use against the U.S. forces in Colombia. So he was planning to kill U.S. citizens and officials. And What he had some anti-aircraft
Oh,
missiles.
hold on. So this what this movie this what the movie was about. That movie was Jonah Hill and Miles
Yeah,
Teller,
yeah,
War Dogs.
yeah.
That movie was dope as hell too. I
So
remember that. Then that movie did. This movie right here. I'm about to bring it up on the screen. My nigga Ralph, man. My nigga Self.
okay,
So
yeah.
so I'm gonna go from the movie. I'm gonna say that Jonah Hill's character was Paul Whelan. Or not Paul Whelan, but dude, what's his name?
Victor Bout.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say his. I'm gonna say Miles Teller's character was Victor Bout. I'm gonna just assume that.
Hey, now I'm gonna watch it tonight again because I
That
watched it
movie was
before.
dope, man.
Nah, it was a dope movie, but now it's gonna have a whole different meaning now that I know the real backdrop behind it. So I'm gonna have to go into it with a whole different mind because I'm just kind of reading in between. Yeah, man, this dude was out here, bro. Like he was funding everybody. He was in all the countries. He was in Africa. He was funding Africa wars in Africa.
Okay, nah. My nigga Self just said it. He said nah. He played. It was Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill played
Okay,
Victor Bout.
okay, yeah. My man was out here, bro. He is in Europe. He is in France, Bulgaria. I mean, he was just out here.
Mm, 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 mm.
He was
Hey,
dealing. He tried to deny with the Al Qaeda, but they said that they had some links to it, and that was in '94 when they said they first thought he was dealing with Al Qaeda. Then I guess they found some links in 2000. He was in Liberia. They actually know for sure he was in Liberia. Oh yeah, man, he's just out here, man.
yeah, that movie is dope as fuck. Man. I guess I suggest y'all go watch it if y'all haven't watched it. Jonah Hill. That's probably like his best role I ever seen him play.
He was in Bosnia, Tehran.
Said he responsible for the flooding of the AK-47.
I just seen that. It literally just popped up. They say when the newspaper claimed that the Sinjik was a business partner about when 200,000 AK-47s rifles went missing in a transit from Bosnia to Iraq in May
Mm,
2006. One of
mm,
Bout's airlines was the carrier. See, he also to kind of give y'all a backdrop on him.
right,
He was like an aircraft. He was in the air freight business.
right.
So that's how he was able to transport these. His company was called Air Cess. So that's what he was doing was he was flying them guns in wherever they needed to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just want to bring this up because we about to wrap this up, man. Listen, see, we started out like I said talking about Brittany Griner. In fact, Brittany Griner is in the thumbnail, right? And I put that thumbnail for a reason because as we see, right, as we look into this ain't got nothing to do with Brittany Griner. Exactly, man. Man, listen here, man. That whole thing that's going on in Ukraine, man. Listen here, man. Y'all ain't
Yes.
ready, man. Put a one in the chat if y'all ready to tap in and go and go to where this stuff really goes to, man. With the whole Ukraine situation and all of that, right? Because this is definitely connected to that. I can guarantee you. You hear me? And we got to be able to, like I said, we got to be able to use our critical thinking, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's all, man. Just question everything, man. L in our closure. In closing, do you got any words to say in closing?
Hey, just make sure you be accountable what you're doing when you're doing it.
Right.
I mean, that's the main thing. Try to avoid any of these kind of situations by being accountable. doing your due diligence in these situations
Right.
when you going, especially when you flying in and out of different states. Because you can go to different states and got different laws, but especially when you go into these different countries. You know, like I said, I even check my bags just to make sure. And I know I ain't got nothing in there, but
You about to triple,
man,
quadruple check, huh?
man, because you know, Virgil, we used to be hot, bro. We used to
Yeah.
do shit. Used to just put something somewhere where you just maybe, you know, just hiding it from people or whatever. You
Mhm.
might use a suitcase and then you might have forgot about it. You just never know. So, like I said, I've always just in the mix of anything, just check stuff. You know, it's just to
Right.
keep it on the safe side when you know, especially when we was out there. But in a sense, especially in her case, where you know that you use the vape pens. Like I said, I use vape pens too. When I go out the country, I use the little weed pens. So I know the struggle. But if it's a country that says that I can't fly with those in, I won't have them. I just got to just be out there and try to hope that I find something when I get there. But I'm definitely not going to risk my livelihood for any of that
Definitely.
to
Hmm.
smoke no trees. Like I'm cool on that. So at the end of the day, don't put yourself in any of those kind of situations where you can be taken down by the law and risk the years or even days. Because I wouldn't even want to spend one day somewhere in any jail anywhere ever again. Any place. I don't care, a holding cell. I don't even want to get pulled over by the cops ever again.
Right.
If I can, I want to go interactionless with anybody of authority. Like honestly, like
As
if you
less
can,
contact with them as possible.
it's possible. Like
You hear me?
I'm over here. I tell
Matter of
y'all,
fact,
like
no contact with them.
no contact. Like yesterday, I had to go to the courthouse because I'm trying to get everything removed off of my records, and I hate going down there. I
Right.
feel too much like I'm going in there for some old shit. Too familiar. But nah, you know, it's just you just don't even want to deal with it, man.
Right.
Like if you can avoid it at all costs. Stay on your P's and Q's. As Project Leroy said,
Yes.
as we know now, especially in Russia, all those
Especially
kind
in
of
Russia.
any of those dictatorship countries, definitely. Like
But
you
listen
know,
here though, L. Now that I'm seeing this going on, I'm not. I don't think it's no really reason for me to go to Russia for real. For real.
why would you? It's cold in Russia. Ain't even no beaches. Like if I'm
Like
gonna go out the country or spend money to go a place, I want to go
go to
somewhere where
Russia for what though?
yeah, it ain't even fun. Like, I mean, if I'm gonna go somewhere cold, I might go like Germany because I like beer or something. Like, I ain't going. I don't even drink vodka like that. Like, I'm cool. Like, you know, I ain't no vodka connoisseur. If they had bourbon or something that was dope, you know, nah, I
That's a
don't drink.
fact. That's a fact, Andrea. That's a fact.
You can't even. Hey, they that strict over there over some weed, bro. I better go. Take me to
And like I
Amsterdam.
say, L, it's not even that. It's not even y'all. Listen, y'all. She got
Oh, that's where.
locked.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, that's where Snowden at.
Yeah, Snowden in Russia. He ain't going nowhere. He know what's up.
But that's what I'm saying.
Listen. Snowden is taking advantage of what's going on.
He's taking advantage. This guy,
Long as Russia and America lightweight beefing, though, they ain't about to allow nobody to come up there and do nothing to no damn Snowden.
yeah, and as we spoke on earlier, this guy Paul Whelan,
Mm.
he's not a spy. Well, he knows
He
information.
seems like he's something like a spy, but
He's
he
something
really
like a
ain't.
spy, but it's only because whoever that dude is that he knew in that Russian government,
Right.
whoever it was when he got too much information and he need deep in that shit.
Right.
I'm not. Yeah, you're right. I'll go to Alaska. Like, let me. My grandma went on a trip there. She said it was cool, but I ain't even trying to go nowhere cold. I'm sorry, bro. Like my idea, I don't even like to go to
Columbus,
the go
Ohio is enough cold for me in the winter
right.
time.
I don't even like visiting New York in the cold. Like,
Mhm.
take me to a beach. But nah, you know, that's my last words really. It's just, you know, just be aware of your
Definitely be
surroundings.
aware, man.
When you especially when you travel in and out of these countries, you gotta know what you could do because there's some weird laws in these countries. So definitely definitely stay up on them malls whenever you in them other countries.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right. Yeah, that's all
All
I
right
can really
then,
say.
L, man. We're going, since my brother L right here, we be back next Tuesday, y'all. Me and L, we're gonna have another interesting topic to dissect and dig into and break apart and get to
Oh, hold up, bro.
Now go ahead, bro.
We gonna are we gonna flip it? Can we at least get the Herb Gotti out? Or is it too late to get the Herb Gotti? You out?
Let me see.
Where,
Hold
where
on.
go
Hold on. We can say the Herb Gotti situation
Oh man,
Saturday. We can go in on it on Saturday.
let's do it on Saturday. Let's do it on Saturday,
or how
or
about
maybe
Friday?
Friday. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Maybe we do Friday.
No Saturday, because me and Cupcake doing something Friday. You can definitely tap in on it if you want to. And I remember I told y'all what me and Cupcake got planned for Friday, so we can do it Saturday.
What's going on Friday?
I'm gonna get with you behind the scenes, and I'm gonna let you know.
Okay.
But listen though, this Saturday evening, y'all, we're gonna talk about the Irv Gotti situation, right? We're gonna get into the Irv Gotti situation, and we're gonna also get into and we ain't gonna go in too deep on it because enough people to speak on. We're just gonna speak on it briefly.
No. I mean, what's crazy?
We're gonna just wait till Saturday to speak on it briefly. But on Saturday, what the real topic of the show, L, is going to be, and I want you to tap into. And I think I mentioned this to you something briefly too. Saturday's topic is going to be this Saturday coming up. Me and L is going to go in about what I say when basically the premise of Saturday's discussion going to be when a chick gets flew out, are cheeks mandatory?
Well, yeah, I mean that's
L, stop, L, just stop.
It goes into the same category.
We ain't even going to speak on it, but that's going to be the topic for Saturday's show. Me and L going to go in. I'm going to bring my brother L on because I know he can speak on this because as myself, I know he done flew some shit out. You hear me? As all of us have if you're getting any type of money and really messing with some bitches. You hear me? And when I say flew out, I don't necessarily mean I'm the nigga that paid. Huh? Yeah. I ain't gonna sit here and perk like I've never paid, but I ain't pay all the time. Sometimes I did. Yeah, I ain't gonna. I keep it funky with y'all. I've definitely blew some shit out,
man.
You hear me? Don't even go into it, L. We're gonna get into it. Hey, listen, Uncle Diggity, man. Listen, we're gonna get into it Saturday, y'all. That's gonna be the topic of Saturday's show. We going in, me and my brother
because I want a woman to. I need a woman to be on.
Definitely going to have y'all ladies come in.
Andrea, come up. Andrea, you can come up.
The only reason why we're not going to talk about it ladies' night because I got Dara coming on ladies' night, and we're going to chop a game up with Dara on Thursday.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna tap in on Doris too. That's the homie.
You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow I got my little homie Yoda on. Tomorrow's the little brother I was locked up with, man. Intelligent young dude, innovative young dude. And I just want him to come on here and speak from the mind frame of a young brother who was in the joint as a young man and that whole experience. And we're gonna chop game up about that tomorrow. But on Saturday, y'all, everybody put it on your calendar right now. Mark in your calendar right now, right here on A Real Talk Podcast. Me, Stacks with the Facts. My brother King Els, we going in. Our cheeks mandatory when getting flown out.
Yeah, special event. And you know what? We're going to play some new tracks too on Saturday night.
Yeah, we're going to play some special tracks. Y'all heard El say it. I didn't say that. El said that.
I'm going to play some new tracks. It's a Saturday night.
El said it.
Yeah, since it's going to be Saturday night, I got some new tracks. We're going to play some new tracks.
It's going to be Saturday. Right. Saturday night, we going in right here, same bat time, same bat channel, right here on A Real Talk Podcast, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right. We're going in at 8. Mark your calendars right now. We're going in. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be litty, as my man Mr. Guarantee would say. Because this is a sensitive topic, though, El, man. This is a good way to end the show off, too. And,
but the reason,
for Saturday, because, you know, man, it's a lot of stuff I've been seeing on TikTok and
Right.
Instagram and all that shit with niggas flying these broads out and not getting no cheeks. And I just don't understand how that wasn't already solidified before you even bought the plane ticket, my nigga. Like, what the hell?
Well, and it even ties back into when we had Cupcake up here the last time, and when she spoke on. But even then,
You
the
talking
reason,
about Cupcake?
yeah,
Yeah,
remember
that
we,
conversation we had, last
right.
Tuesday.
But in this sense, like I said, the reason why I do want to have, whether it's a couple females up here, because I want to have them, because it ain't just dudes flying girls out. Girls fly
Right.
dudes out too. Like, trust me.
Right.
I know personally, and we'll get into that next week.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that Saturday.
I mean, Saturday, my fault, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. But yeah, so that's why I said, and it may not even be flown out, but you might be the one with the apartment. So you're flown out, you might have flown from the north side to the west side or whatever.
Right.
you know what I mean?
What,
but you
have you?
You know what you wanted. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why I said it's gotta be a flip too. Because women know when they want it and men know when they want it. And it ain't even just like we want it. It's just,
Ain't
it's
nothing
that
better than a woman knowing how she want it.
right. And that was a real statement, because we're gonna discuss it. Let's get into it. But at the end of the day,
it's Saturday, y'all, man. Saturday.
It's Saturday, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Like, here we be getting into the political.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have some fun.
This is gonna be fun. It's a Saturday night. We're gonna lighten up. It's gonna be Saturday fun vibes, chill. We're gonna play some music. I'm gonna try to get some music. Matter of fact, we're gonna try to incorporate the music throughout it. We're gonna make it a little different. We're gonna play some music throughout.
You already know, man.
Keep
Tap
y'all
in and walk with us, man. Tap in and walk with us, man. We're gonna give y'all a nice little show on Saturday. Lighten up, you know what I mean? Talking about Friday night. It's gonna be a perfect precursor or after event from Friday night. I'm not gonna tell y'all nothing about Friday until Thursday, right? I ain't gonna, man. Friday is gonna look. I'm gonna talk to my man Els behind the scene. Friday gonna be litty. I know Friday gonna be litty because this conversation right here, y'all. Ooh wee. So El, yeah, we're gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna play the rest of your album. You know what I'm saying? The rest of your album, The Present. I didn't get to finish it last night. I'm gonna play the rest of it tonight for the rest of the show. So y'all, I'm gonna hit you out behind the scenes, and I'll holler at you, bro, next Tuesday, or we on it, and this Saturday coming up, we going in.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. Hold on, let me bring it back up. Go ahead.
Peace and blessings to everybody. Everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight.
Yes.
And y'all have a great, safe evening. And like you said, we'll see y'all on Saturday and next Tuesday.
Right.
Hey, real talk.
You already know, honey. Yeah, man. Y'all see it, man. So Saturday, me and El gonna go in, and we're gonna talk about this situation with getting flew out, man. Listen here, y'all. If a nigga fly you out, it is absolutely mando that you give him them cheeks. I don't care what you gotta say about it. And this is what I'm saying, dudes. If y'all flying chicks out and y'all not getting it established, getting a conversation established, letting that be known before you purchase a ticket, it has to be set in stone and know that cheeks are getting clapped upon coming to the city. I understand if it might not be the first night. I get it. And we're going to get into that too. But for the duration of the time, because most of the time you fly a chick out, she's going to be here for the weekend, which is 2 to 3 days minimum. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into all of that. It's going to be litty, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all eating, man. Thank y'all for coming out. Shout out to Project Leroy, Uncle Diggity, Vernon 85, Andrea. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody came through the building today, man. You know what I'm saying? My nigga Self came through, blessed us with his presence, man. You know what I'm talking about? Hakeem Andrews came through for a hot second. Lance Parker came through. My brother Mr. O came through. My sister Reese came through. You did. Whatever, man. Cousin O came through. My man Cortez came through. Blessed us with his presence. You know what I mean? Jonathan Coleman came through. You know what I'm talking about, man? Appreciate y'all coming out and chopping up game with us, man. We have my man King L's in the buildings, man. And yeah, man, I'm gonna just leave y'all with this for the last few minutes, man. We're gonna just rock out for the full 3 hours, man, since we went over an hour over time. And we're gonna listen to the rest of my man's album from last night that I was listening to. How'd y'all listening to that King L's? You did King L's, the present. You know what I mean? Hold on. Oh goddamn. Hold on. I done sit up there and did that, man. Hold on, y'all. Give me a couple seconds. Yeah, I'm about to go ahead and play the rest of the album. My man King L's album. I'm about to put the link up in the chat for a couple seconds, in a couple seconds for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all go download that album. Go download this album. It's fire. Go to DatPiff. All our stuff is on. Well, some of our stuff is on there. Not all of it, but some of it is on there. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, we about to ride out. Man. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight, man. We appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying? You already know Project Leroy, man. That's Mando, man. And the fact that you niggas don't know that, the fact that this shit is even happening, becoming a thing, let us know. Like my man, shout out to my brother Red Supreme TV1 and Red Supreme TV2. Go subscribe to that nigga right now, man. Just like my man be saying, man. You niggas is game goofy Gilligan. How the hell y'all ain't getting it established before you even go purchase the ticket? How is this not established? You lame ass niggas, man. God damn, y'all niggas is terrible, man. For real, man. Y'all be good. Tap in with us tomorrow night. We got my young brother Yoda in the building tomorrow, man. My young bro, he's a young polished guy. We're gonna go through the whole demonstration tomorrow. Being a young brother, being locked up at the age of 19, 20 years old, that whole experience, the effects it has on your psyche, your emotions, your spirit, and all of that. We going in, you know, since a young polished dude, young innovative young brother. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna chop it up tomorrow, man. Enjoy y'all evening. Hold on, let me copy the link real quick, put it in the chat so y'all can go to datpiff.com and download my brother's album. You dig? Bang it out. It's something to ride to. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all smash that like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. Click on the notification bell as well. Like my man Project Leroy said. Shout out to my brother Project Leroy, man. He one of the realest, man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. Y'all know what it is, man. And yeah. We about to ride out. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Enjoy this rest of this album we about to play. Yeah.
Socrates couldn't even figure this shit. Just an appetizer on the menu of my dinner list. Fuck the risk, we love rewards. Time bras and V-cars. The tire flat if it leak wrong. Stripes from the bottom to the top like the teens. I was born to win. Ain't been to learn to mold the wind. Click the throat, hit the end from the mid-east. On packs I stand, packed in vans. With food stockers packed in cans. If we get jam, there's no words. I told my man. Strawberried out like dog. Yeah, I smoked the grams. What I told the judge, we made bases from the mud. Word of dime, I'm fucking up. It's stuck in mud. When the wolves get hungry, put the blood on the blade. Let them lick they self till it ain't thirst. When they light fade, used to rock the high tops. Now it's like phase. It's like I'm Cyclops when in my sights. Talk down on my kings in my presence. Get rap, no presents. Merry Christmas is a gift you. No crowns for you clowns. Metal pack with them rounds. Happy birthday. This a gift you. You can't talk down on my kings in my presence. Get rap, no presents. Merry Christmas, this a gift you. No crowns for you clowns. Metal pack with them clowns. Happy birthday, this a gift you.
Bus boys running late, grabbing dinner plate. Down on the scoop, I can make a winning play. Hit the birds with the curve like horseshoe pits. Float everywhere, paddling awards and shit. Make I got scores to fix. Break your whole foundation. The board spin. Never play with house money or foreclose and shit. Face to face, nah, serving no letters. Sever the ties, whatever suits us better. This the gift view. In our rear view, step in the game, you can get a clear view. State of the art, we talk about the state of your heart. Heart check them, now be worried about the state of your heart. In a state of shock, leave them like that. Came in trying to front, now we leaving on his back.
You can't talk down on my kings, in my presence get wrapped. No presents, Merry Christmas, it's a gift view. No crowns for you clowns, metal pack with them rounds, happy birthday, this a gift view. You can't talk down on my kings, in my presence get wrapped. No presents, Merry Christmas, this a gift view. No crowns for you clowns, metal pack with them clowns, happy birthday, this a gift view.
I don't give a fuck what you be on. ESPN, I be in my zone. Foreign language, don't know what they saying. Need my flight direct with no delay. I don't give a fuck what you be on. ESPN, I be in my zone. Foreign language, don't know what they saying. Need my flight direct with no delay. I don't give a fuck what you be on. ESPN, I be in my zone. Foreign language, don't know what they saying. Need my flight direct with no delay. If she want it, she can get it. That's just what I'm thinking. When I say she on my mind, we got a different meaning. Tell me what you thinking. I don't get too fussed what they be talking about. Call it total beat, kiss through phones and talk it out. All I talk is living, chasing dreams and getting paper. On this road to success, homie, I'll see you later. Do me a favor, don't waste time in your lifetime. If you really want it, nigga, now is the right time. Get up on your ass, hustle, nigga, go and get this shit. Let them haters do their job and let them niggas hate this shit. Don't waste my energy, I just kill with all accomplishments. Anticipation building up to populace. Look, I got this shit to blow like I'm Leroy. Showing up I'm the best. When they start to speak their lies, I'm like, put that shit to rest. It was me, Rain, and John B. We was doing what we do. We was about to shoot the G. Then the lanes start to shoot. Cause at 9 pussy getting 9 money getting niggas. Yeah, I shine when I want it. Grind when I want it, niggas. Cause they 9 pussy getting 9 money getting niggas. Yeah, I shine when I want it. Grind when I want it. I don't give a fuck what you be on. ESPN, I be in my zone. Foreign language, don't know what they saying. Need my flight direct with no delay. I don't give a fuck what you be on. ESPN, I be in my zone. Foreign language, don't know what they saying. Need my flight direct with no delay. I don't give a fuck what you be on. ESPN, I be in my zone. Foreign language, don't know what they saying. Need my flight direct with no delay.
Pilot about to fly.
Let's go, bitch. All I want for Christmas, heated marble flows. Rose from flipping foes, now we the show. Red sweatsuit on, we the king of low. All I want for Christmas, heated marble flows. All I want for Christmas, heated marble flows. Rose from flipping foes, now we the show. Red sweatsuit on, we the king of low. All I want for Christmas, heated marble flows. Packages on deck, now we making moves. Red nose watching, still nigga, we ain't never lose. Catch King high up in the sky on that sleigh shit. Snooped out Christmas in the ghetto was my favorite shit. Told me she gon' put the mistletoe on the stomach chair the holiday. Locked in the flavor, I sealed in the malt fillet. What y'all smoking like? Charlie Brown Christmas tree. They shoot you in the eye like Ralphie. Walked away like they never missed a beat. Been out of Robbie line saying never missed a street. Still my presence come wrapped up like it go under the Christmas tree. I told them niggas they can mention me. My only fears of my sacks imitate elf. Rich is cool, but my gold done expand the wealth. You already know what it is. E&E 2020 takeover all day, every day, no days off. Let's go. All I want for Christmas, heated marble flows. Rose from flipping foes, now we the show. Red sweatsuit on, be the king of low. All I want for Christmas, heated marble flows. All I want for Christmas, heated marble flows. Rose from flipping foes, now we the show. Red sweatsuit on, be the king of low. All I want for Christmas, heated marble flows.
Hey there, Breezeline here. We know there are lots of choices.
It's just different.
E&E 2020 takeover. I'm super be with you niggas, then supersede all you niggas. You tryna be with them bitches, I'm tryna see all they figures. The guys up. Niggas, the guys up. Yeah. I'm super be with you niggas, then supersede all you niggas. You tryna be with them bitches, I'm tryna see all they figures. The guys up. Nigga, check it. The guys up. Yeah, I'm super be with you niggas, then supersede all you niggas. You tryna be with them bitches, I'm tryna see all they figures. The guys up. Nigga, check the Gaza. I'm super be with you niggas, then supersede all you niggas. You tryna be with them bitches, I'm tryna see all they figures. The Gaza. Nigga, the Gaza. Yeah. Before they started the race, they mentally was defeated. When the loyalty lost, they falsified all their teachers. When the profit be tainted, selling your soul to get famous. Only looking back when I lane switch after my game. Flick keen, never doubt of it, be proud of it. We out the shit. Michael Phelps with it, could have been ones that drowned in the shit. Keep the chalice in, properly styled the hit. Test it, fly with the shit. That's word that my brother said. I'm feeling undefeated. Got a bundles you need it. E&E procedures, respect the God when you read it. Inherited by me. Written above releases, covered it by the pieces. This feeling sweeter than the peaches. They get catfish and eat the leeches. With sandy on some sandy beaches, I can break the game to pieces. Just loosen the leeches. Like sweeter than trust the leeches. Not far from where my reach is. Now I can see this. I'm super be with you niggas, then supersede all you niggas. You trying to be with them bitches. I'm trying to see all they figures. The gods up. Nigga, the gods up. Yeah. I'm super be with you niggas, then supersede all you niggas. You tryna be with them bitches, I'm tryna see all they figures. The gods up. Nigga, check it. The guys up. Yeah, I never felt more alive than when the hustle arrived. What's the daily mathematics? Be the thought of my mind. Used to hit them with lines, now we just hit them with lines. Go to the back of the line, we superseded your shine. I'm super B with design, Medici reign in my time. 2020 was prime to keep y'all equally blind. See how they kept y'all online, prayed on the conquer divide. Now put yourself in the ride, told them niggas to dry. Don't ask where they was taking you on the course of the mind. Told them meet me at 5, 2 hours later arrive. The hour of God mind, the formula outline. Why you wasting your life? Homie, you can't count time. Should've asked where they was taking you, never locked your mind. Told them meet me at 5, 2 hours later arrive. The hour of God mind, the formula outline. Why you wasting your life? Homie, you can't count. I'm trying to be with you niggas that supersede all the niggas. You trying to be with them bitches. I'm trying to see all they figures. The gods up. Niggas, the guys up. Yeah. I'm super B with you niggas that supersede all you niggas. You tryna be with them bitches. I'm tryna see all the figures. The guys up. Nigga, check it. The guys up. Yeah, I'm super B with you niggas that supersede all you niggas. You tryna be with them bitches. I'm tryna see all they figures. The guys up. Nigga, check it. The guys up.
We run the city.
Hey, yo, it's me, my nigga. Now it's time to lift up. You don't want no issue. Fuck you, hater, twist up. It's me, my nigga. Now it's time to lift up. You don't want no issue. Fuck you, hater, twist up. It's me, my nigga. Now it's time to lift up. You don't want no issue. Fuck you, hater, twist up. It's me, my nigga. Now it's time to lift up. You don't want no issue. Fuck you, hater, twist up. Bottles with the sparkle. Baby name was Sparkle. She looking like a model. I'm gonna let her model. Birthday suit, red heels on. Just some shit we deal on. Hold my fashion kill on. Blue face, we gon' peel on. I'm gonna let her work that. She said, King, come surf that. You know where my turf at. Eastside where that work at. Hey, no me, no like those. Walking on a tightrope. Now you got the right dough. Pilot talk, that's high smoke. Body like a Kobe. Freaky talking, choke me. Come and rock this show, please. Hard facts, but don't quote me. What we do when the dog be doing like. She love how to fuck me right. I love how that shit be tight. Call that good delight. Better when it's sloppy. I'm gon' clean that mess up. Love it when she caught me screaming bless up. Better when it's sloppy. I'm gon' clean that mess up. Love it when she caught me screaming bless up. Seeing you, my nigga. Now it's time to lift up. You don't want no issue. Fuck you, hater, twist up. It's me, my nigga. Now it's time to lift up. You don't want no issue. Fuck you, hater, twist up. It's me, my nigga. Now it's time to lift up. You don't want no issue. Fuck you, hater, twist up. It's me, my nigga. Now it's time to lift up. You don't want no issue. Fuck you, hater, twist up. Above anything else, just be yourself. Real separate from game, that's just how the cards dealt. You can check this fresh, probably February. King sitting high, something about this Mary. True hustlers rise up out of any deficit. Rolls through from the concrete, we wasn't giving shit. Niggas must hurt, I tell them catch up. They don't wanna hear shit, they like fuck a lecture. He done stepped up, now his team screaming next man. Now why you follow on results to get you 6 feet of candor? When you step up in the game, better learn the rules. Niggas wanna speed, but they ain't even learn the cruise. One hit wonder why they always lose. Neck and wrist filled with jewels, but can't drop a single truth. Keep my click tight like shoes, keep my click tight like ooh. Keep that 4 fit for boom, keep your hate on the moon, motherfucker.
You rap, I rap, you rap, I rap, nigga. You thought I got, nigga. You rap, I rap, you rap, I rap, nigga. You thought I got, nigga. You rap, I rap, you rap, I rap, nigga. You thought I got, nigga. You rap, I rap, you rap, I rap, nigga. You thought I got, nigga.
It's really just making the transition of being a street hustler nigga to like a quote unquote star.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
The water be the ambition. The baking soda be the transition. The flame, mind frame, grind flipping. Mix it up, let it drop, perfect prescription. The water be the ambition. The baking soda be the transition. The flame, mind frame, grind flipping. Mix it up, let it drop, perfect prescription. This is skill mixed with talent, you ain't ill, nigga. Real pictures off the fading when the frame hit you. You is who you was where you got hit. We had die fit, living like the end is. Hiding across the pylon, confident like Dylon. We in a different time zone. We ain't got your mind on. I never hate on your calm. Homie, get your shine on. Mountains that I climb on, you never even see homes. Getting head, counting money, told you perfect timing. Easily change the climate, then combine it. When your hustle organizes, when it's at its best, invest. Let your money work to add another rep. Stress and bench press, hustle gain strength with every set. See the play, pick it off like your favorite corner threat. I am none like the rest, attracted in, I'm the one. Reassured daily like the rise and setting of the sun. Let my mind fit with DC family on my conscience. Create a dynasty, that's my only life assignment. Redefine, pick the fineness of pure life content. Get the strap on these frauds, feature with no content. Pulling triggers with no essence, that be nonsense. Place no value on your life, displaying no concepts. The content, so time you hit the bond tip, regain our strip as a whole like pre-Reaganomics. I'm a trainer's asset on beats, my nigga. Wish I was smarter back then, sashing more of my flicks. It's hard to transition from the streets to corporate. Just breathe natural, nigga, just please don't force it. Now the move's more mental, so be strategic. Speak the shit to existence if you really believe it. Ban the struggle for your family, make sure they all set. Till you got the vanquish for the fan, throwaways vets. Bro, L's unite, king keep going. When the product blue magic, I cross flood warnings. Raise your sock and hood, make sure they all on it. Even if they don't want it, can't deny that you want it. Mike chant other shit, dominate opponents. Told y'all before, never rent, nigga, I own this. Right hand up on it, smoke signals of that bone shit. Transform, build up to that Megatron shit. Black superhero flow, I ain't never save a hoe. I'm a hustle motherfucker, I'd rather bake dough. When the heat rise, my cake rise, I'm epic under pressure. Sometimes you gotta show these young niggas fuck a lecture. And we're now dismissed from this convo with the king before thoughts of disrespect. Just remember one thing, mixing knives with the J, big ass and pop the dog. Perfect ingredients of a king that's never lost.